Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love tarot reading for the week of March 9th through the 15th of 2020, brought to you by HighVibe.tv. HighVibe.tv is the awesome spiritual network, which is doing things differently than you are seeing anywhere else. So make sure that you join now. Get us a membership where you can get the exclusive content. And it's more than just exclusive content, especially with today's world. We can really do the content the way that we want to because of the way that public energy is working with what we can say. So let's just be real. The real deep is on High Vibe. Make sure that you join today by just going to highvibe.tv. You can find us in the app stores as well for iPhone, of course, your Android phone, or of course, Apple TV, Roku, or we're also on Amazon Fire. But I do want to say, just go to highvibe.tv and you can click any way that you want, because the way that I'm doing the horoscopes now and the things that I'm saying, I can't say here on you know what. So, of course, this show, we have a good time. We have a fun time, deep astrology. We get deep. But when it comes to the dailies and it comes to some of the special reports, it's just getting a little bit hairy out there now. And we're all getting kind of forced here in the public arena to go into a place where we can actually be fully uncensored. So please check it out, highvibe.tv. And of course, my love masterclass is going on right now. So if you want to learn more about how to understand the love in your life, understand the partnership and so forth, check it out. You can find out more info by going to leoking.com or go to highvibe.tv and click on Love Masterclass. Week 3 is this week. If it's okay, you can join at any time. We have live parts of the actual class if you want to be part of that. If not, you just can watch the recordings. Of course, there's over 6 hours of content already for just class 1 and 2 to catch up on. So check it out now at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv.
And it's true that you don't need extensive astrological knowledge to compete the class also, right? Is that true?
It's very true. I can start from the most basic of basic because I really want to help people understand their love lives. And I'm starting from somebody who might just not even know their sun sign. But we definitely go way deep. So it's not like, you know, some like, oh, I already know this stuff. I'm giving all my secrets away. I'm giving all the things that I've done for over 10 plus years of doing professional readings and over 10 years of doing horoscopes professionally. So it's just everything that I've learned from that and going on TV shows and doing celebrities and predicting celebrities and all that kind of stuff. All these little secrets that I have, especially like when I'm on a TV show, they don't give you like, you're going to be talking about, they just throw somebody in your face with a birthday. And it's not like I can just pull out a chart and just go, I just know from a birthday. And I teach all the little secrets. You're going to want to know it. So check it out.
Boom.
How you doing, Craig? I mean, it's Mercury's out of freaking retrograde. It was a weird 3 weeks, dude.
It's been a wild time, but it feels good. It feels like there's a calmness, a stillness, you know, in this full moon tonight, even though I am still seeing some lasers in my beams from spiritual dance music that we just did, which was a blast. Thank you all if you were in there as well. But I'm feeling good. I think everyone's ready to move forward with and get going with 2020. It's kind of been stagnant a little bit. So I think we're progressing and we're going to move forward in this newfound love that we are all worthy of.
We are all worthy of amazing love, and this is definitely a great time because of just, you know, not only the state of the world with the astrology right now. We got Venus and Taurus, and I want to just say, if you've never watched the show before, we're going to do a collective reading, of course, using the astrology, but we also mainly use the tarot. But I always give the astrology, we do a collective reading first. Then, of course, we use the High Vibe Red Cup, which has all those 12 zodiac signs that are randomly picked by me. And don't forget, we look at the tarot. So today's tarot, we're going to do the first cards we're going to use are the Golden Tarot to see what the initial understanding of what's going on with that zodiac sign or the collective. And when we reach 1,000, we do a reading for love. And then when we reach 2,000 people live, we do a sex reading. Our challenge card today we're going to use is the Sacred Oracle deck in the middle. And then we're going to use the Black Moon Astrology cards as our outcome. But then I always pull a spiritual advice card and how to get through those challenges and stuff. And we're using the Botticelli deck. Oh, she just fell. That naked woman just fell. Uh-oh. The box ain't doing too well.
We're gonna have to see. Might need to move the camera. Might need to do a little intro. You are kind of blocking those cards.
Well, I know I was fixing the box.
All right. We'll see if we can continue with that.
And then, of course, we've got the Astro Dice. I don't know any other tarot show that is using the Astro Dice all the time every week. Are you using Astro Dice? So, speaking of the collective, I guess we could just kind of just jump in and just start having a good old time here.
I'm down. Let's get it.
And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching. This show has just blown the hell up in a good way. And thank you for everybody sharing it, being part of it, and being part of the live, being part of sharing it throughout the week. Like, it's kind of mind-blowing. And we love doing this show. It's a great time. And we like to have a good time. Some people can't handle it, though, but you know what? I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Go have fun everywhere else.
All you can do is be yourself.
Yep.
Be authentic and true, and if people accept it, then that's great. If they don't, then they can go F off. Keeping it PG tonight.
Dude, I'm still in spiritual dance music mode. Actually, I'm still in the box that Craig had created for it. So I feel like I can go another couple hours DJing.
Well, people need their love.
People need their love.
They need
and
that
hey,
deep, deep love.
I think we all need the love right now. Venus and Taurus. Sensual. Sensual love. We need some touch. We need some smells. We need some licking.
Some smells, some touch, and some licking. I mean, that's
that's
a
Taurus.
recipe for a good night right there.
I'm telling you, that's Taurus. Like, it likes to feel things. It's not, it needs to have that sensuality. And there's a lot of ways to be sensual, I know, but physical touch is Venus in Taurus. So, I mean, it's one thing to have one of those, what was that show where it's like those people have those relationships, but they're like not real. They're like just online. And then,
Catfish?
yeah, like, this is not catfish time, people. If you're having a catfish relationship where you're like, I'm going to see this amazing relationship with this person, but I just talk to them only on the internet and I never actually physically ever see them. Well, gosh, talk about restraint on yourself and not feeling anything unless you want to start rubbing the phone on yourself. And God, Venus and Taurus would not like that. I don't think a phone would feel too good, even with the vibrator on. Okay, so I guess we're on the collective reading now, and we can start with that.
I guess we can.
When it comes to love this week, we got a full moon that just happened in Virgo, trying to adjust the sloppiness in our life. We just had a Mercury retrograde for 3 weeks. There's been so many things that have just made us feel like, one, did I just go through that? Or what? Some people are just, everybody's lost and confused in many ways, and waking up like, what the heck was that? Especially when it comes to love, because Venus met with Uranus during the weekend coming into this week and threw it for a tailspin. It's like, wait, hold on. And I am going to say this, I'm going to call this out about this collective with the astrology. There's major choices right now. Saturn this week, actually I think it's late tonight into the morning, so Saturn comes to the 29th degree of Capricorn. We have been in Saturn and Capricorn since, December of 2017. So we've been going through the Saturn thing in Capricorn until I'm signed forever. And this comes to some really intense culmination decision points, especially with Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto, and Saturn all in Capricorn. These are major choices now with Venus that's starting to make aspects over to the South Node. Venus starting to get aspects to all this Capricorn over the next couple of weeks. We got big choices to make about our long term. We have to really start to actually go, what is the best for us in our life? And we have to learn to weed out what is really just hanging dead fruit. This is a time when the moon in Scorpio this week. Ooh, Scorpio is going to come up. Craig, you're going to have moon in Scorpio. And that thing's going to oppose Venus this week. So there's definitely a lot of emotions about what we desperately, deeply want. And then, to be honest with you, is that coming true in the physical? So that's what I'm saying. Catfish relationships, online only, somebody that lives far away. I mean, let's be very real right now. And it's not like travel is the most easiest thing. It doesn't look like it's going to be that easy for a while. So if you're going to continue to do these relationships that are far, 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 far away, good luck. That's just coming from an astrologer, especially the South Node is with Jupiter. Good luck. And with Jupiter, I mean, you got to remember with Jupiter here, it's coming into the last decan this week. Like, we are at Jupiter and Pluto meeting up with Mars. Like, oh my gosh, and that's all coming up next week. So this is the next 2 weeks of where this full moon cycle was, trying to clean up all these sloppy situations and trying to figure out what really is working, what really is not working in our reality, and move that into, and there's a great trine to Jupiter, but it's like, it feels like there's only so many options when really there's a lot of options, but you got to make choices. And I think that that's the hard part, is like, if you're afraid of making choices and trying to keep all the doors open or something, like, oh, that's not going to be working anymore. Virgo doesn't like a lot of doors open. It closes the doors. You know what I mean? Like, it looks nice when you go down a hallway and all the doors are closed. But if one door's open and this door's open and they're all kinked at different sides, it looks like a messy hallway. And if the rugs are all kind of tilted and you've been walking in and out going, I don't know which door I'm going to walk in, it's like Virgo nightmare. Ah! If the cord isn't wrapped all the way around when you put the freaking vacuum away. So, think of your love life like that. And think about where, especially during this Mercury retrograde that was in Pisces and then went into Aquarius, where did you totally fall for things that just might not make sense? Might not be in a place where you actually really can make it reality. This is where Jupiter and Capricorn's trying to teach you, hello, with this full moon, and Virgo especially, we need to clean up this Neptunian mess. It's great to have dreams and everything, but those dreams got to be ones that make sense in your reality. I mean, if you're going to think of it like a puzzle piece with a bunch of puzzle pieces, people. If you're really trying to slam in a puzzle piece from another puzzle into your puzzle, like, I'm sorry, it ain't going to work. There's a lot of other things that you might try and shove in and ain't going to work too. But this is, I think it's a great full moon though, with Mercury coming direct, because all the planets are back direct. That's what's crazy, man. You know, like all the planets were direct and then Mercury went retrograde, and that's what makes it feel weird. It's like everything's moving forward, but Mercury, the smallest planet, makes the tiniest things, and it makes us miss the smallest things. Makes us avoid it, or makes us not go, oh yeah, whatever, we're moving forward in my life. Like everything feels like you're moving forward with stuff, but like the littlest thing will come up, and then with it being in Pisces, it was kind of like, oh, whatever. And then now that it's direct, it's like, that was not just whatever. What the hell? You know? So this is definitely, I would say, a little bit of stress, Craig, astrologically, about choices and weeding out things. This is the end of Pisces season. We are not out yet. So anything that is not spiritually aligned, anything that is not magical, or that you created some sort of magical fantasy about, does it hold its true worth? Does it hold the true reality? And does it have a door open to your ultimate path in your life? That's where we are at.
It's like about being cohesive with your life as well. Like, take, for example, you said, like trying to not fit in pieces where they didn't. You know, you can look at this Seed of Life painting behind me that Kim just did last week. It's the newest segment on There's an Art to Life up on High Vibe, where you can learn how to paint that. But it's taking the steps and making sure that everything fits within itself. You know, there's so much of that outside chaos that we can get caught up in and bring it into our life. And it's like, we need to acknowledge that it's not needed anymore. You know, we can progress forward with our own little ecosystem that we've created within our life, you know, make it fit within those pieces and grow from there without bringing in all that outside static.
I like how you put that, because it's like, let's just take, for instance, what's happening with the world and how products are not coming into America like they were. And it looks like in the next, who knows, month or two, there's going to be a lot of things that we, in our society, maybe just we're like overly abundant over. Like, do you really need that thing that was an Instagram ad that looked really cool, and then you were like, what? And you just tossed it. Like, love is kind of the same way. I think that everybody's expecting so many things, this excess, or trying to fit everything that doesn't fit. Because if you think about life right now, it's getting back down to the simple with this full moon. It's getting back down to the quality, and it's getting back down to just the essentials of love. Is that beauty, that touch, that you don't need to have a certain car to drive or a certain restaurant to go to or a certain thing. It's just about the essence of the purest form and where it is and what clicks. Because I remember love as a teen, and even, you know, I'm a Leo, so I love is like, I don't think about any of that stuff. I'm just thinking about the love, baby. And I think that this is just about getting back to the simplicity of like the love and getting rid of all these like distractions too. Because Mercury retrograde in Pisces and in Aquarius is very distracting. It's almost like I've been saying this one from what I channeled recently. It's like a movie theater that God's showing, and then like all the dark beings came and said, here, come outside and wait for God's show, and then threw us all into a fucking weird ass fucking party bus that we thought was looking good and it wasn't. And now we all just got slammed out of it, and it's like we're coming back to go watch God's true show.
That's not a bad depiction, actually.
No, that one came straight from the guides.
I think that's what they call channeling.
That's what they call channeling.
That's what they call channeling.
So I say we see what's going to happen in these cards right now.
We might as well. We've had
All
the
right.
collective up there.
So this is for the collective. This is for all people, all 12 zodiac signs, just whoever you are in the world. Let's see what the overall theme this week is for love. First card that we got this week is the Nine of Cups reversed. So, okay, this is exactly what we were just talking about. This overabundant or over-optimistic energy, or taking things a little bit too far, too intense. This is where we got to learn to kind of scale back to make sure we get the true emotion. Because one thing is, it reminds me of overeating, or reminds me of overdoing something, or it reminds me too of a lack of. So it's like, it's too much or too little. We got to find that right space, because the Nine of Cups definitely is a great card. But when it's in reversed, it's like, man, one thing about the Nine of Cups is there's all these cups behind the person, whichever deck you use, and they're satisfied. Are you truly satisfied, or do you feel like there's something more that you need, or do you feel like you're lacking something? Because it's basically the same thing. But there is something to say. It's like, whatever situations feel like you still need to go and experience more things in order to understand things. I know we have to grow. I know we have to build when it comes to partnerships and love and so forth. But this is going to be a theme. It's like, how much am I willing to keep exploring until I feel like I'm not fully there? Or how much am I willing to keep not really feeling the way that I want to myself, where I'm going to keep trying to be optimistic about it? Because any of these like over optimistic situations that are the paintings all over the wall, like behind me, that's saying like, now can't happen. Challenge card that we got for this week is the release card. Can't make that one up. So with release, it's saying, hey, the challenge is it's hard to put closure to things, situations. And I keep getting this imagery of this hallway with all these open doors, right? It's like, you got to close the doors. And I think that releasing things, and especially with the knife in this deck, it's hard when you have when you have gangrene and you got to cut off the limb, you know what I mean? But it's got to happen. So I know that's a drastic aspect, but there's definitely a lot of things that maybe were overhyped and looked extremely good that it's kind of falling on its face if it doesn't hold true emotional satisfaction and security in that satisfaction. And we can't be afraid of releasing it. Wow. As our overall card, we got the 7th house of partnerships. So I think what that does is give us the options of the actual real partnerships in life that can come about. Because the overall is that this is really about not only relationships and love like we've been talking about, but like ones that are balanced in the right space. Ones that feel like they're very similar, but also similar in a way that is grounded in a balanced reality. Not stuck in creating some sort of fantasy or creating some sort of, you know, it's kind of like taking a drug or something and like being like, you know, I love Eminem and I forgot which track where it is, like, you know, like we just took some E and fucking, you know, it's like, and I think I love you, you know what I mean? It's just like, and then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what the fuck I do, you know? So I think that there's a lot of that kind of energy going around right now. And I think that this is a time for us to balance out what needs to be done, what needs to be cut off, what needs to be, and what really makes sense. I think that this spiritual advice is going to help us out a lot. Interesting. Wow. We did get the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So anything that really, truly, that we feel like we're giving so much and we don't have anything to give anyway, and it's like we're taking on either a charity case or we're taking on something where it's like you're giving out all this stuff and you don't even have anything to give. It's like, you know, whether that's time or whether that's energy or whether that's money or whether that's just, you're giving all your value away and not really able to receive anything back. if that's not an equal, especially since we've got this 7th house here card. And I think that the release is what just feels like it doesn't even feel like you're doing anything that's actually that great, because it almost feels like, hey, go stand on the corner and go volunteer and do something for Salvation Army, but we're not going to give it to Salvation Army, and we're not going to even give you anything, and just do it for us because we want you to. It's like, what? I have better things in my life to be doing right now. You're not giving it to the charity? Where's it going? Oh, it's going to go in my pocket, but I just want you to have, you can go do it for me.
Yeah, it's almost like we've poured in, all of our emotions into a certain situation or into an individual, then it's just not turning out how we thought it was going to be. But yeah, we keep putting it in and keep building it up for a situation that we know isn't going to work out at the end. We have to be truthful with ourselves and kind of pull that dagger out from our own back and say, okay, yes, I did invest these emotions. Yes, I did invest this time, but you kind of have to call it at some point and move past it and move into a new direction to get that greatness. You can't just keep filling up those cups when there's not holding any weight.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a Mercury retrograde, so this could be, and I don't know why I'm getting this, it could be like exes that you thought might try and work, right? For some people, it might be that you had a couple options present their way, and then you really thought maybe that was the right option, but really the other option. Like, there's a lot of switcheroo stuff going on here. Let's get a little bit more clarity on that 9 of Cups. The King of Swords, yeah, what factually makes sense, and what do you really know is for sure in your mind, and where you've got to stay in this reality-based mental state. I know it is a Pisces time. I know it is magical, but if the communication's not strong, if the stimulation's not strong, and more importantly, if you're not being stringent by using your mind and getting lost into, because the 9 of Cups reminds me of like, okay, it's okay to go to a bar and have a couple drinks. It's another to go have 12 shots. You know what I mean? I don't drink anymore. It's been 5 years, but like,
there's the issue, my friend.
Like, that's an issue when it gets to 12 shots. You know what I mean? Or like so many drinks to where you're just like, I don't know how I'm doing anymore. I need to get a ride. Well, that King of Swords needs to come in because, like, it reminds me of beer goggles. It's like, take off the beer goggles here for a second and be like, whoa. You don't want to wake up next to that.
Yeah, we just get stuck living in our own delusions of our mind. And we got to pull ourselves out that bullshit.
Just reminded me of Huntington Beach back in the day. We got the High Priestess reversed with that 7th house of partnerships. So partnerships that really feel like there isn't some divine guidance behind it, or it just kind of feels like spirit isn't around, or your intuition just feels like there's something not clicking or off. That's going to give you a lot of clarity about this, because I feel that this is definitely a time for us to, things that make sense, things that, you know what, spiritually, you're just like, you know what, I don't have to really do something that doesn't feel right in my soul, doesn't feel like I'm guided to this. Because it's almost like if it feels like it's guiding you off a track or guiding you away from maybe even somebody or something just better in your overall life, this is where you got to catch yourself drifting. Because it's one thing to start drifting if you're on a dock like a boat, or if you're just on like a little floaty and you're just drifting a little bit. And the next thing you know, you're like, what the hell? I'm all the way out here in the middle of the ocean and there's no way I'm about to swim back. Like, what the hell? And the current's taking me? Like, that's how fast when we drift, we think everything's good. We think everything's under control. And the next thing you know, it's like way off your path now. And it's like, now you're in rescue operation. You know, it's like calling your people like, I need rescue. It's like, oh man.
Maybe we'll have a Kerma situation and the space turtle will just swoop down into that ocean and just bring you safely back to shore.
Exactly. Well, and I think if we just take the astrology to end this collective reading, it's like this week the moon's in Libra, squaring all the Capricorn stuff. So, okay, hardcore reality stuff, choices are being made with emotions and relationships, big time. Moon's going to come into Scorpio and oppose Venus and Taurus. That sensuality, that deep emotion and deep need, if that's not there, goodbye. And then that's going to make a big T-square energy with Mercury that's still in Aquarius all week, direct. So if it doesn't make sense or it doesn't connect the dots, or if even the people that they're around aren't the kind of people you would hang around, you're not going to be able to get that whole pie. You know, it's almost like you need all the toppings here. You just don't want blank vanilla ice cream here. This is a lot of fixed energy coming in with the Pisces energy, and it needs all the parts. Then that moon comes into Sagittarius and makes a major square to the sun in Pisces. So it creates a great Alice in Wonderland fantasy story, but if you don't have all those bases that really are making sense underneath it, that's all it really is like watching a cool movie and then what's next? You know what I mean? So this is like big test this week to make sure that you don't just end up into some movie and then feel like you're going to be crushed with that whole feeling of optimism or hope, because this week is showing you that optimism and hope and good things come when you listen to your intuition, you think straight, and you think with not being over optimistic about something that you know is not lining up, and then something where you're giving away way too much. That's what you got to release, where it's like you're giving more and you're giving all this stuff and it's not being met back in the same way. There's a lot of that going on in here. Let's see what the Astro Dice have to say. I'm actually going to move these cards here so people can see here. We got the moon in Aries in the 8th house. So this is definitely telling us that we have to go deeper emotionally to our true feelings. And some of it might be a little bit like, whoa, this is intense. Like, this is how I really feel. But you have to identify what it is. And you need to be not afraid to have the courage to actually make the transformation emotionally. This could also be good, though, about making commitments, too, emotionally, to things that you want. So only make a commitment emotionally if you're ready all the way. But if you are still hesitant or you feel like there's something not fully connected, this is where you got to identify it. And you've got to allow that to come out, because one thing is I always see a lot of suppressed energy with the moon in the 8th, right? It doesn't know how to really bring out that truth. It almost feels like it's too harsh or it's too extreme or it's too weird. But if you suppress that and then you continue to drift, next thing you know is like you could have saved yourself from so much pain and so much emotion on both parties by just being real. So this is a big week about being real. Be real.
On that note, I think we're getting Caps first.
We got Caspi?
No, Capricorns. I'm feeling Caps. I'm feeling the Capricorns are going first.
What do you mean?
That's what my guess.
Oh, that's your
Dipping
guess.
into the cup. Come on.
I thought you were giving away Capricorns.
Give it the program. What is this? I thought this was Deep Love Tarot. Come on.
I know. I thought you've given Scorpios a reading over other signs before.
Well, that's
just saying.
I hold
you
the
have
power.
cheated the system once before.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, my brother.
Taurus is actually first.
You know that's. I was gonna say Taurus. I should have gone with my intuition. Stupid me.
Usually Taurus is. I don't know if Taurus has ever gone first before, but we're out of Mercury retrograde. Things as fast as you think things were and all set. Now that Mercury's direct in Aquarius, beep, beep, beep. Things are changing.
Whole new world.
Speaking of a whole new world, you can have a whole new world with the Love Masterclass right now. Make sure that you join now at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. Of course, week 3 is starting this week. We already have week 1 and 2 up. And if you are putting out those awesome timestamps, make sure that you make it to where you go all the way to where you get to this part where we have the banter. We promote this. This is how we stay on the air. I appreciate that so much. And we appreciate you being part of that Love Masterclass. It's been going intense. It's been going great. It's been having a great time. Thanks so much. Make sure that you join it now. All right, Taurus. Well, we got Venus in your sign. So you are an attractive person right now. Venus, whenever it is in your home sign, you are the ruler of Venus. Getting that makeup on, that cool clothes, making yourself feel good. You maybe need a back rub too, right? It feels all good. Maybe you need some touch. Maybe you need a jacuzzi. You know, there's a good time for you. But you got to remember, there's a lot of energy going on that are all in earth signs. And we're going to see a big week with relationships with you with the moon in your relationship house opposed Venus in your sign. So this is like a give and take. Like, what are you emotionally ready to give in a relationship? And what are you not willing to give? And where are you willing to meet halfway? Where are you willing to kind of understand, okay, I'm going to put in that much emotionally but I also need these things. So this is about finding a big balance this week. We are going to see a very interesting Jupiter, aspect to this full moon, right? This is your love full moon. This is a full moon in Virgo, really highlighting your love life, and then about the other people in the world in Pisces. Like, this is what Pisces is for you. Other people, what other people think. So you might be kind of coming into a place with Jupiter and Capricorn, expanding you to a position that you've never been before. You are kind of opening up love doors that you never have. Might not make sense to everybody, but there's good luck with it. So it's like, just focus on your own needs and wants this week. You got Venus in your sign. And don't worry about the whole world. Don't even worry about the lover or the love situation. Just worry about your own needs. And if it all works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if you put it outside of yourself too much, I think that could cause some problems. Especially we're going to see Mars and Neptune make a sextile this week. And that Mars in Capricorn in your 9th with Neptune in the 11th is like, this is about you having the courage to expand where you want and not get lost in what all the little critics and all the clowns at the circus start to say. Like, this is about, okay, intuitively, I see where people are at. I know where I'm going and I can still go here. And some people might not understand, but let me prove it to them in a way by showing the experience instead of predetermining it all. You got to get out of predetermination too much, I think, right now. And I think that you got to go through more experiences and opening to really find that love. Your first card for this week, Taurus, is the Hierophant card. So this is definitely a week to where you are trying to find something solid, relationship-wise, something traditional, something much more connected to whether that's the divine or whether that is just, whenever we're dealing with the Hierophant card, we're dealing with the traditions we do when we go to church, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to kneel down, give me the wine, let me take all this, and let me do my Hail Marys, and right? There's that whole traditional aspect, and especially with love for you, there's trying to find some sort of routine too, because there's something about the Hierophant card that has that routine. Like we go to church on Sunday and we go at 8 a.m. and we go on the night before Christmas, on Christmas Eve for Christmas Mass and da-da-da-da-da. Not that that's all bad. I'm just saying that that's the relationship energy that you want, not the church thing. We use the example of that to understand that you're looking for solidarity in some sort of traditional aspect, scheduling, day-to-day understanding of where things are going with love. The challenge that you have this week that you got is the home life. So whether that's a trouble at home that you got going on, trouble in your family situation, home also deals with, of course, kind of like that foundational element. It's like, do you have the foundation to hold up the life that you really want? So that's the big question, Taurus. Like, there's issues at either the home front or, maybe you haven't cleaned your house. Like maybe, maybe those dishes need to get done because it's not going to be too hot when somebody walks in, or maybe you didn't take out the trash for 3 weeks and it smell like shit when you walk in there. Could be anything like that, but it could be, I think, on a more deeper spiritual sense here. Having this home card is, if you look at it, it's like kind of like it's all these different sides that have unboxed themselves open. So it's like the trouble is you are having to expose your most vulnerable emotions and expose also the foundation of your life, and really not only have another, but also yourself see whether or not it can hold up this really high up relationship that you want to have that has something that, especially when you're dealing with the Hierophant, it's like a higher up, a pope, but it's just a higher calling. And it's something that has a lot of not only belief, but dedication towards. But the challenge is there's something, are you living in the right place? Are you still living with your buddies or your girlfriends and they're fucking smoking meth and you're fucking trying to live in, be with a normal relationship? Or it could just be that you still live at home, and you're 40 and you're like, I'm that person. How's that going to work? Or maybe you're so focused on your children so much. And it's like, uh-oh. Or your dog. I don't know why I got that, right? It could be your cat or something, where it's like some people are like, I can't go on the date. Like, I have to do this and I have to do that. And my foundation is like, if your foundation can't hold up when the ultimate, situations start coming to build the ultimate path and you're not willing to do anything, you're not willing to change your foundation, how are you going to build something great? Your overall is the air element. So you have a lot, especially communicating here. Look at this. Communication's key. Being clear on where you're at with your foundation, your home life, and your emotions, but also communicating what you want to have and what this kind of schedule or what this kind of reality is going to look like with love. So there's a lot that comes with this card too, because when we're dealing with air, of course, we're dealing with Gemini, we're dealing with Libra, and we're dealing with Aquarius. We're dealing with communication and understanding the environment that you're in. we're dealing especially with Libra, right? The understandings of what we need to have a partnership that makes sense and the equality of that. And then we got the Aquarius. Like, does this make sense in both of our worlds? Does this make sense in the kind of people that we're around? So there's a lot of angles that you're looking at here to try and make something really positive and really great, but also something that takes 100% dedication to. But there's some troubles at home. Why is that? Interesting enough, we did get the King of Wands right over that. So this is about you taking the authority over your heart, because the King of Wands is one of the best cards in the deck for love. But there is something about your foundation. There is something about your home life. Could be your family situation. Could just be your dog. Could just be this. There's something about foundational wise. And you do got to look, it literally says home. So I'm not going to just like, with some of these oracle cards, it's like I can go all day and go around the whole entire block. But let's just be real. It says home. King of Wands knows its love and knows the authority of its love, and it has to bring that into the home. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I know, and I'm setting the foundation. It's like a king that comes into the castle and says, this is how the castle's going to be. This is the queen that's coming in. Or if you're a queen, this is the king that I am bringing in the castle. And if everybody at the home doesn't like it, it's like, shut the fuck up. I'm the queen. That king is going into that fucking throne. I am, right? There's that whole, you're going to need to stand by your heart. But there's something about the foundation, and we're dealing with friends. We're dealing with other people, with all this Pisces. Taurus, you got to deal with, you've got to own what you want in order to get what you want. Let's get clarity on that Hierophant card more, the Star card. So yeah, this is about you trying to free yourself to going to something in a much more serious and greater place that's going to take you to a whole fresh new start. That's going to be more feeling connected. Both these cards are very spiritual. They deal with a much more connected energy to the divine. They deal with a much more connected energy to something new and something more proper and something that's got a really healthy and positive vibe to it. The Star card also, as well as connecting with the stars, connecting with your inner truth, connecting with the rawness and the beauty of you and God, you and nature. And both of these have a lot of that element to it. With that communication, look at, you got the King and the Queen of Wands. Holy shit. So she knows what she wants, and she knows what she's going to get, and she's going to communicate it, and she's going to think of ways, and she's going to make it happen. She's connected that little black cat. That's because the pharaohs trusted cats. They were magical. I put up a post about it yesterday. I took a bunch of pictures of me and my shirt off of my cat and posted them up on my freaking Instagram. But there is something to say that there's something magical about you stepping into the roles. Look at this. We got a Hierophant, we got a King of Wands, we got a Queen of Wands. Like, you're stepping up into a higher position than you've ever been before, and it's a brand fresh new position. But I think that the emotion or the foundation is afraid that you can't hold it. Or you'll just notice it's like an earthquake that comes, and it's like, are you earthquake proof? Moon in the 8th in Leo. So this is a little opposite than the collective one, but it is still dealing with the moon in the 8th, having to get deep into your real happiness and expose what that is. You can't hide your heart. You got to fully feel your heart, and you got to connect with your heart. If something is missing in your heart, then that's a big answer. But the other part of this, Taurus, is you cannot be afraid to bring out your heart, bring out your truth, bring it all the way out and connect deeply and passionately. This is a very passionate week for you. It's a passionate week about wanting and attracting too, the emotion you want. But if you're going to keep it all in, it's not going to go that well, because Leo's all about out and the 8th house is all about in. But man, that Leo in the 8th, that's like trying to take the sun and put let's put some like a dressing room around you. It's like, that motherfucker will burn that fucking dressing room in 1 millisecond. So,
Burn.
Not a bad reading though.
Not bad. But those Taurus, you need to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in and assess that structure to which you're building that relationship. And if you really look at it and you say, yeah, that is a stable foundation that I have been building this relationship, then you can exhale and relax a little bit. But if you're looking around and you see that there's all this mess around you, you might need to hold that breath just a little bit longer and dive deep and really see what is wrong with that structure. Dive real deep. And to see why that foundation might not be the most stable to continue going forward and fix those issues. A lot of issues are extremely fixable if we put the effort into it, if our partner puts effort into it. But there's some situations where it can't be fixed and you just got to call it and you got to move on.
Well, it's like kind of like a home that has carpet in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, how many stains do you think are on that carpet after cooking over the last 45 years or something, right? You got to replace the floorboards. So there's something about the floorboards here like needing replacing, or even if it's like 1950s tile, it looks good, but every time you move the refrigerator through that motherfucker to change it out, it's like you're cracking it. You know, it looks dated. Doesn't really look to the way, especially aesthetic is everything for a Taurus. So it's like the aesthetic even of your foundation might not be looking good, and the makeup you're putting over that foundation, or your family situation, or your roommates, or your home life, or even the home itself, like you're shoving shit under the rug all the time, and you're like, you know what the fuck? Like, how am I going to bring in the partnership in my life if I have to like put makeup over, because this is a Taurus thing, like I'm going to mask it up, right? I'm going to make it look good, but I don't think that you can do that anymore.
No mas. No mas.
No, who do you think's next?
I'm going with Aquarius.
I'm feeling a water sign. Pisces. I'm good. Happy birthday, Pisces, by the way. Hey, we're at 1,000, so.
Shall we do that first?
Yeah, Pisces, I know it's your birthday. You're coming up, but we got to do the collective 1.1 thousand. We're at the 1.1. So I know that some of the twin flame people out there are like, oh my God, it's 1.1. It's 1 double 1. It's 11.
Are we going to do a twin flame reading?
No, we're going to do the collective 1,000, but I'm just saying this one's coming with 1.1. So if you're into twin flames, we can make this about a twin flame reading, but this is how I do the 1,000 people that are live. First of all, thank you very much for being part of this. We ask you to zone in on somebody, and I don't like creeps. So this can't be somebody you haven't been really talking to, or maybe even, I'll go as far as the boundary as at least you have to have FaceTimed or something, okay? Because I am not going to help catfishes, okay?
FaceTime counts as a date.
Well, yeah, at least you know, like you've spoke, right? Like there's at least some physical look at the person, like you know you're not with a catfish, like, what was that show on fucking, I don't know why I was going to go there, but that old show that was the creep balls that would go meet the young girls and they'd totally fall for these police officers thinking they were young.
Catch a Predator?
What was that called?
To Catch a Predator or something
Yeah,
like
Catch
that?
a Predator. I ain't trying to fucking catch a predator with some twin flame peeps out there with people they haven't met yet or seen. Sorry. So, envision the person that you are wanting to understand. It might be your lover. It might be somebody that you've been dating. It might be somebody that you've been flirting with. It might be something that there might be a door open. It could be an ex, whatever. But it has to be this one person, and you can't apply this to anybody else. And we're going to see what's going on. All right. I'm going to give you 5 seconds here while I take a hit of this jewel, and we're going to do this reading. All right. Hope you got that person all centered with you, and don't even think about applying this to anybody else because it won't work. King of Swords. Wow. There's definitely a lot of thoughts about this person. More than others. It's almost like you're trying to figure out something very intense about this person and where things are going, and you have a lot of your energy here. This also might be somebody that you're like, why do I keep processing or trying to figure out that situation? Might not even be the main situation you're dealing with either. I don't know why I'm picking that one up. But I think that this one is like where it's like there's a lot to this person about they know either what they're doing and where they're going. And are you feeling like you are too? That's a big question. But it could be that there's so much solid communication and understanding of where this thing is going, or the opposite, to where it's like you need to figure this thing out. And actually, maybe it's already figured out, but you have to like stamp it with the approval of your mind or a conversation. But it's definitely like this thing is something that has to come up and with a full understanding really fast now in your life. Like you can't just keep wondering. It has to be known for sure. This cannot be a wandering person anymore. Wow. The challenge is the knowledge, so you don't know. That's why. That's the issue why. Like you don't know where this whole thing is going. You need to have certainty And a lot of that King of Swords energy is direct. This is about being direct. So whether that's direct of releasing it or direct of this, we're going to do this, or I want this. You've got to be direct because there's too many unanswered questions here that you keep running in your mind about. Let's be honest. And you got the North Node here as the overall card. So guess what? This person definitely feels like it's much more in alignment with your life purpose. So this is about, I think, number one is this person is all about the connection to that life purpose in your life. Maybe you have similar energies with your life purpose. But if that life purpose does not meet, then maybe that's your answer right there. Like, you have to look at the truth. You have to look at the deeper knowledge and go, does my life purpose and what I really want in my life and where I'm really going? Because the North Node is where our destiny is aligned towards. And it's a little uncomfortable to go towards that destiny sometimes. But there is something to say that the overall is saying that this is what you're trying to figure out. Is this your life destined purpose? And does that purpose of theirs and your purpose meet? There might be small little things that might not, but it's the bigger picture here, the bigger stuff that is the true life purpose. Little shit don't matter. You can figure that shit out in relationships. There's always going to be little shit, right? But it's this bigger purpose, that bigger life journey, that seems to be this outcome here. This is what you need to start focusing on and maybe reflecting on. Now, I told you not to use this reading to look at others, but use this person in the life purpose and reflect that on other situations. Or if you're in your relationship and you're not looking at anybody, like, you need to look dead on and be like, okay, is our life purpose really in alignment anymore? Or maybe we need to start talking about that because maybe you're unsure where it's going. The spiritual advice to get through the challenge is, wow, the World card, the ultimate card here. This is the Botticelli deck, the ding, 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 Wheel of Fortune. In many ways, it's not the Wheel of Fortune, but I'm just saying it's with the world, it is like there is this whole world that could encompass you with tons of knowledge, but the challenge is that you don't know. Well, are you willing to put your world into it and be direct about it and make it your life purpose? Let's see why we got that King of Swords. Well, I pulled 2 cards for that King of Swords. 6 of Pentacles with the Hierophant. How funny, we pulled these in the last one reading, but I am going to say that this is a really interesting card because it's like what you're trying to understand is what's the give and take and how is this thing going to really become something really powerful and real? I think that there's a lot of questions about like, there's not an understanding of how things are going in the reality as far as like, what are you going to put in and what are they going to put in and what that looks like. But you have this idea of maybe you guys have already talked about it, or maybe you're doing it to where you're like, you see there's something really powerful and really good there that could actually manifest into truth, into something real and something much more traditional and the power that could be. That life purpose North Node card we got the 10 of Swords reversed. I think that this person's reminding you to get out of your old patterns of with people that no longer really fit your life purpose truly. I think that this person in many ways is helping you see the true life purpose. And it might be a big wake-up call here. It might be like, wow, this is actually my life purpose here. It's here. This is the person for that. I'm going to pull one card and see if this thing's going to work out or if this is just a lesson. 6 of Swords reversed. So this is something that is saying that it's like, this relationship is not letting you go fully out yet into the waters of where you want to go. I would not say that it's a lesson. I wouldn't say that it's the ultimate, but it's helping you see fully. And I think that there's a lot of still questions here until you are willing to have those direct conversations, because it's like the universe is saying, don't turn away from it right now. Go back to it and figure it out, or stay in it until it's figured out. Don't just jump out right now. So I would say that there's good news that this thing is not just like over or done with, that you have to go in. But if it is old patterns repeating, like let's say this is an X, I'm going to be honest, then if this is an X, it's over. Because it's like you're trying to go back to something that you've already tried many times before, and that 10 of Swords. But if this is just something new, this is that you getting out of old patterns and you going back to kind of see some deep stuff. Maybe there was a stall, I'm feeling, with that 6 of Pentacles reversed. Like it looked really good, but there was no more, Girl Scout cookies left. So you're going back to the store looking for the Girl Scout. Like, hey, you got those Samoas? that's where we're at for that reading. Well, we'll pull the dice for the 1K collective reading. We got Pisces here. We got Jupiter. And what did we get? The 12th house. Oh, wow. This is definitely very something spiritual and karmic, and definitely connected to a higher understanding of in your spiritual alignment, and can really create big, beautiful fantasies because of the spiritual alignment here. I think that we're in a reality now that, you know what, relationships that really don't have some sort of deeper spiritual connection and understanding can feel very like you're talking to an AI computer. So if it feels like that, it's not the right thing. But if it feels like you understand each other and your souls very well, and you can see that soul, and that person can see your soul really well, and there's a lot to explore in those energies from a beautiful spiritual soul level, this is definitely something that looks really good.
Right. Yeah, I'm tapping in a lot with like the betterment of self to achieve that relationship, or to succeed with that individual that you're looking to love with. You know, I feel like you both harness that energy within. It's if you can meet at, you know, at the apex almost, then you can really create something positive. But if you're kind of stagnant, you know, and they're boosting off, or you're boosting off and they're stagnant, you might just miss that. It might just be a misconnection, as they say on Craigslist. You know, but we're both there. So
a missed connection.
A missed connection, you know. So just be honest again with where you are, and hopefully they'll be honest with where they are in this life. And then you guys can meet there and create something very, very beautiful. Lots of love.
Very beautiful. All right, we're with Pisces.
The Pisces.
Thank you all for being in here. The 1.3 thousand now. Remember, 2,000, we go to the sex reading. So share this video to get it out there. We have a good time with the sex reading. But I don't build creeps.
No creeps.
With readings. I get very clear on the boundaries of how we do the sex reading. All right. Well, Pisces, you're a magical lover. Why don't you try the Love Masterclass? It's available right now. Go register at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. You get instant access once you purchase. You get into the school. You can watch class 1, watch class 2, be part of the live for class 3 that's on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. And if not, don't worry. The recording goes up right afterwards, and you get all access to the school. We got outlines for every course. I do different PDFs to like cheat sheets and how to do it. And we go through it all together. We go through your chart individually for you, and I teach it all. I mean, I'm going through every kind of alignment, every kind of thing. I'm teaching the traditional stuff all the way to all my secrets. Check it out right now. And if you are doing a timestamp for this, please make sure that you timestamp this at before this and not trying after this, because this is how you keep us on the air. Thanks so much.
And they have access to the videos for how long?
For as long as the internet is on.
Forever. Forever.
Forever.
Forever.
I mean, we've had that school for, I don't know how many years now, dude? A couple years. So that school moved old videos from my old school into the new school. We just got a better system. But so people from the old schools of mine moved over. We transferred everybody over. We always transfer you, just by the way. When, you know, platforms get better and apps get better and all that shit, we move you over. So
those bots are getting wild already. It's an early night for those bots. They're going.
Oh, do we got the sex bots in here?
Sex, they can't contain themselves.
I mentioned the sex reading in Pisces right now. I'm about to do their reading for their birthday. They're probably, maybe the Pisces have sex all over their minds right now.
Dirty, dirty Pisces.
Moon's going to be in your 8th house this week. All right, Pisces, I think that this is one of those weeks where, of course, it's your beautiful birthday. It's a full moon in your relationship house to start off this week. So relationships are definitely all over your reality. And this is where, you know, you might feel a little bit lost because you're like, 1, maybe you've been guided in some really weird relationship situations. And 2, you're looking for relationships that will guide you in a better way. I feel that with Jupiter in this nice sextile and trine that we're seeing with this full moon and you know, the sun and Jupiter that are meeting up this week, I feel that a lot of it is all about, 1, you realizing, okay, the world that you want to live in and the kind of people that you're around, does it fit in with the kind of relationships that you want? I've been saying this, but this is like a positive. I think that you're really realizing, you know, where you need to go, who you need to be around to make the relationships that you want in your life to work. We are seeing the moon that will go through Libra, that is that 8th house of sex and all that, but it'll square those people. It'll square those friendships. It'll square all those groups. It'll square that world you're in too, right? Like, are you in the right environment, the right world? We got Venus in your third house. This is all about communication and stimulation. So you can have that, but has it really got the depth, right? So you can like have conversations and people can like put up the facade like, oh yeah, I really get it, right? You know what I mean? So you might be dealing with some snake oil salesmen, but at the same time, you might be dealing with some people who actually really legitly have it, but you got to see that. You got to see, do they legitly have the physical aspects to what they're talking about and understand? That's important for all Pisces right now with Uranus there, and Venus especially. But that moon in Scorpio is going to oppose that, and that's your 9th house, and it's going to be looking at that 3rd. So it's all about, I think that there's a lot of wondering where you're all going right now. Like, is this the right move? Is this not? So there's a lot of, I think, a little bit of hesitation on questioning and trying to understand. But I think a lot of it keeps coming to the groups and to the area that you're living and being and placing yourself. Especially now that Mercury's direct in Aquarius in your 12th house, it's like you're waking up. Like, what the hell? Like, I need to change this. I need to connect with this energy. I need to go in this direction. And I think that with this moon that'll be in Sag in your 10th house, like you need to think of your long term of where you're going right now and pick relationships that are going to fit into that instead of just playing around with, it kind of reminds me when I was like 20 and I was hanging out with my like crew of clubbers for like 3 years and having a relationship in the middle of that. We were always hanging out at the clubs and late night parties and all that stuff. It was like, that was great and all, but it was like, you know, when that all ended, that relationship wasn't going to work. Ironically enough, that was
my
a Pisces.
Crew of clubbers.
Oh, just go on my Facebook. If you guys haven't been on my Facebook, go look at my memories folder.
Find David on MySpace. That's where the good shit is.
All right, Pisces. Your first card you got is the Page of Wands reversed. Yeah, I felt that. I felt that like somebody you might have dealt with, this could be in the past too, because it is reversed, but this week you don't want to repeat that. Somebody who's just like talk the talk but couldn't walk the walk. You need to make sure that people are walking the walk that they're talking, Pisces, because Page of Wands reversed definitely is somebody who puts up a good game, says that they can do all this, right? Like, oh, I love you, you're amazing, and da-da-da-da. And then really it's like player, or it could be just somebody who just talks and doesn't have the walk, right? So you need to make sure that people are really speaking from their heart and that they're speaking from their truth and that they're spitting game in a good way and they're not a scrub. Because sometimes I always look at this card as the scrub, right? Like, oh yeah, we're going to this great party and like, you know, yeah, we got this badass ride, and it's like, there he is in the passenger seat, like with his arm out, like, yeah, it's my buddies and it's my buddy's party, and like, you know, but come on with me, like, you know, like you're my girl, right? It's like, no. Challenge card that we got here is the Magic card. So I feel like maybe you felt like magic isn't there, especially maybe you have been kind of dealing with somebody who didn't deliver the magic that they promised. But I think that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. I think that the challenge is overcoming within yourself that you have magic always around you. You're a fucking Pisces. You're a fucking fish. Come on. You are the most magical that they are. So I think that this is an easy challenge for you. It's about getting back into your magic again and believing in that and just knowing like, okay, I learned now another lesson as a Pisces about where I get caught up into believing something and maybe it really isn't true. Especially with Mercury retrograde in your sign, so you got to forgive yourself. You know what I mean? We got the Saturn card, truth is the overall. So something that really has that truth and that stability and that actual proving. One thing about Saturn is it proves its case. Saturn actually has the foundation, it has the structure, it has the actual complete picture together. It's not like, gosh, I hear this one a lot. We live in California. It's like, oh, I've got a startup, you know, and we're doing this and we're doing that, you know, and it's like, well, have you guys sold anything yet? It's like, no, but trust me, this thing's going to be amazing. It's like, right now, Pisces, I think you need people that aren't about all the, and I think maybe your challenge with the magic is they're talking magic that hasn't happened yet. I think that that's your issue. You're around energies that are talking all this game, talking all this magic, and they ain't magicians. They ain't showing up with that magic, and they're just, they ain't walking that walk. Your spiritual advice card that you got over that challenge card for the magic is the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, people that actually that you can be around that have the same understanding as you and actually can create things. I feel that you have a lot that you can contribute right now with the kind of partnerships that you want, and I think that you need to find somebody that actually can contribute the same. Not spitting game, not saying because of their connections of who they got and all this bullshit, but actually physically, spiritually, and has a foundation to it, actually has something to it. Other thing about Three of Pentacles, there is something to say about there's a lot of different people involved. So this could be something where it's like you might be kind of toying with a lot of different people, or you might be dealing with a lot of different people. And I think that, this is saying like fine-tune this down. Fine-tune this down to maybe a couple suitors, or just fine-tune this down to somebody who really has the magic. I think that this is a little bit like American Idol. Like there's some people that show up just to fucking fuck around and say that they can sing, but they really just want some airtime. And I think that that's what you're dealing with. The reason why that you got the Page of Wands reversed is the Moon card reversed. You know what? It's because you're subconsciously drawing in energies to you that really you needed to go through energy, and this week it might come up for you. You might realize that somebody is a liar, or somebody is not really saying the truth, because underneath it's like maybe there's a part of you, not saying that you're a liar, but maybe there's a part of you that hasn't dealt with some of your own shadow emotional stuff that needs to come out, or you've been suppressing something. So of course you're dealing with somebody who's going to suppress back to you. This is a big week where it's like maybe that trigger of that somebody who is not walking the walk or not talking the talk is going to allow you to finally release some of this energy, and release some of the energy that honestly is not the best for you and yourself. Maybe you're doing something in yourself that reflects not the same way, but in a different way about things that maybe, somebody wouldn't be happy with you. So there's a deep look at you and what you're doing with your emotions, and if they're going in the right place. And look at this. Great card, Seven of Wands upright with that Saturn card. Something that you could actually want to stand your ground for, because there's ground to stand on. I think that's the biggest thing with this reading. Your astro dice is the Moon in Sag with the 8th house. Is this another 8th house dang moon? Oh my gosh. Well, you're revealing the truth of who's really got the goods and the truth of the higher knowledge and actually has the story of the truth. Or is it just a story, even a facade? I think that this is a big week for you, Pisces, to actually get rid of and emotionally stop attaching yourself to the belief of somebody's story, and actually see the experience that they have and the proof that they have of the truth. And to believe back into that ultimate hope is going to be by recycling in and out the emotions to something that actually has something hopeful, opposed to just the hope of the hope itself.
Yeah, use the magic within. We all possess it. We all can kind of get that sense in whether someone is right or someone is wrong, or hopefully if someone's withholding some information for you. But there is definitely something telling in there that there is like a false maybe identification that someone's been putting up, or a false like thought in your mind of who somebody was. We're kind of holding back our own magic within. And even though we didn't get the veil card, it is almost kind of like removing that veil to actually see who the individual is that's in front of us. Whether that is a mirror and we have to kind of check and see who we actually are inside, because maybe we're the issue. A lot of people don't actually take the time and say, I might be the issue in this situation that's not working. So be truth. Use that magic and actually see within yourself, see within those others, and then move forward from there.
Well, I think you said it best, and I think that came up with that Moon reverse. It's like sometimes people show us shitty shit.
Yeah.
But it's to help us see some of the shitty shit in ourselves, and it might not be the exact same thing, but it's like, okay, that person did something and it's fucked up. Maybe I'm upset, but at the same time, I'm doing something in my life that maybe I need to look at, that maybe I wasn't looking at, and that's why that person came in.
Or to see how long we're going to actually put up with the bullshit that we're allowing them to keep portraying. It's funny, though, that you brought the startup, because I was out at a bar last Saturday with a friend from high school, met up down in Venice. I go to the bar and I'm grabbing a drink, and this girl comes up to me. She's like, oh, are you with that person? I'm like, no, she's just a friend from high school. Starts asking me, she's like, oh, so what do you do? I tell her about High Vibe. I've been building a platform with a friend, app, and she's like, oh, how LA are you? You're just sitting in here telling me about your stupid startup and your stupid app? I'm like, I'm just here fucking grabbing a drink, and you come up and start harassing me, and I'm just telling the truth. But it's like, obviously, she probably was hurt by an individual that maybe, or someone was bullshitting her, and she was projecting it on me, when really I was just sitting there in my truth and telling her what the hell I do.
Yeah, and she didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
It's not like High Vibe is just some like startup thing. It's been going on and morphed into this over a long time, and you were there. We've been doing it together since 2009.
Yep.
So,
needless to say, I left that conversation pretty quickly.
2009? That's tripping me out. Who's next?
Who is next?
Gosh, I wish I would have been with you. I would have my Mars in Scorpio would have just shredded her.
I mean, it just wasn't worth the time. I had gotten my drink by that, and I had, politely.
Hey, I'll admit, I can shred people. It's not my best quality, but
Shredder.
when people are being dumb, what's funny is Scorpio just popped out.
Scorpio, huh?
Yeah, I just said my Mars Scorpio, you're Scorpio. We're just like, like you handled it right, and you're just like chilling out. But see, maybe that's my issue that I haven't had a drink in 5 years, right? So I just shred. Like I would have gone in there and just shredded her. Right.
Yeah.
I even named my trucks that are gray Shredder from Ninja Turtles.
People are interesting. You know what I mean? They come up and try to talk to you, and then they bash you for no reason. Did we get Scorpio,
Teenage
though?
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage
Scorpio.
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power. Fucking, they need to get more Shredder in that fucking song. And get those fucking shing. I want that Shredder helmet. You know what? For Halloween this year, fuck Indiana Jones like I was. I'm going Shredder.
Shred life.
Although I am a rat, so I could be
Master Splinter.
Master Splinter, but I just don't feel like he's too like guru, like, oh yes, Leonardo and Michelangelo, like, like I'm just much more Shredder.
Hey, Scorpio, baby, because there ain't no party like a Scorpio party. Baby.
I know. All right, so I have a question really quick, and you're a Scorpio. Out of the 4 Ninja Turtles, or any other character in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, would the Scorpio you think be?
I would be the pizza and then give them all food poisoning.
No, I think Shredder's the Scorpio.
Definitely, Shredder is definitely the Scorpio.
Shredder's a Scorpio. That's why I name all my fucking, anything that's intense in my life, I always name it Shredder, Shredder the second, or Shredder the third, or, yeah, Shredder's been around a lot. Okay, so then, because you're Leo rising and I'm Leo rising and you're Leo moon and I'm Leo sun, what would be the Leo?
Probably the girl that's in it.
What? April?
Yeah, April.
The reporter?
Yeah, April the porter. She's Leo.
I feel like she'd be like the Capricorn. Or Virgo.
Leonardo.
I think, yeah, Leonardo. Because he's like
Donatello.
the leader. He's like the
The pizza would probably be the Leo then, actually.
No, I feel like Leonardo, like, he's kind of like the leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Michelangelo would be like the Sag goofing off, or the Gemini. And then Donatello, I don't know. I never really connected with Donatello. I always thought Donatello was lame because I had all the toys when I was a kid and shit. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, oh gosh, okay, Donatello, go do your fucking thing, like fucking. And then Raphael, right? And I thought Raphael was badass, like Aries. I'd say Raphael's very Aries. Leo's like Leonardo's like Leo, but like Donatello feels like a.
I'm going with pizza.
I'm going with like Taurus. Like he comes in worthy when he needs to. But whenever I played the old video game, do you remember where you go by the side?
Yeah.
I was like, Donatello, I don't want Donatello. Fuck. But he did come through.
Just like Scorpios.
Well, just how I'm coming through with the Love Masterclass, which you can get on highvibe.tv and register at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. We are on our week 3 right now. This is an 8-week intensive. We might even go 9. There's been so much info. I've been going over 2 hours. I thought this course was going to be an hour and a half each course, and it was like over 3 hours the other night. So you're getting way more information than I even promoted for. And of course, we have the live element if you want to be part of the live course, which is on Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Pacific. Or don't worry, it's all a pre-recorded show. It starts from if you don't know jack diddly squat from astrology, or you are the most masterful astrologer ever. I'm about to teach you all the secrets about love. Make sure that you join it right now. And if you do timestamps on this video, make sure that you get this in. And everything that we were talking about, Scorpio, even all the Michelangelo shit and Donatello and all that fucking turtle shit. Because You're making people miss out on the show. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. Well, this week, Venus is in your opposite side still of relationships. Beep. And the sun is in your 5th house of love. Woo! Can I get a Scorpio party?
Ain't no part like Scorpio party, baby.
So, but especially now that Mercury is out of retrograde, this shit might actually start to flip the right way. Talk about a turtle on its back fucking flipping the other way, or a Scorpio on its back. Ah!
That was my stinger noise right there. Ta, 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 ta.
Well, have you ever seen a Scorpio on its back and try and use its stinger? Like,
And we just roll ourselves over. We use that as like an extra extremity, and we just flip back.
Well, this is you all back onto your right energy. And especially with Mercury in the 4th house coming out of retrograde, I think that this is like, believe it or not, I believe that Scorpios have worked on their emotions more than they ever have in their life. I think that this retrograde was like, I get my emotions now. I see where my emotions trigger things. I see where they do this, but it's like, this is a good space to be right now. With all this love aspects of Pisces, with Jupiter in sextile, the 3rd house, sure, stimulation's good, but I think that this is about quality now with stimulation. So it's like, it's good to have stimulation and love and relationship aspects, but you know, with the moon in your sign, that's going to oppose Venus this week, and with this Jupiter Sun sextile, I think that this is going to be like this major moment for you to be like, whoa, you understand what you can have and what you want. And I think that there's some really positive, crazy aspects here, to be honest with you. So I'd be surprised. I think that it might be a little bit weird tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday with the moon in Libra because it's in the 12th house, but that also could bring somebody in just spiritually. You might be just chilling back, like how Craig, you were talking about, you're at a bar and some girl came up and started to give you shit. But I would say that maybe it would be the opposite. Maybe somebody comes in and just is like, whoa, wait, what? Spirit just brought this in. I got a really good feeling for Scorpios this week with the astrology. Let's see what the tarot has to say.
Amen, my brother.
Boom! I fucking knew it! The Lover's card upright. Woo! I think we got to get the dinosaur out here, bro. Fucking, of course.
Come with a little back
Oh my
scratch.
God. I think we need Shredder. We're going to call him Shredder now. I think we need Shredder. There we go. What? I'm just telling you, Scorps. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's pretty simple as a reader here to be like, Jiminy Christmas. This is definitely a lot about love. I think that you've been through some kind of shitty situations and it's all flipping the other direction. I think that this is like you turning around to a whole new leaf and even maybe connecting with somebody or something that you never thought was possible or didn't think of, or maybe you did, but never thought it would. I feel a lot of that energy with the swap going around right now with the emotions. Let's just see what this is going to reveal. The Lover's card is the best love, the card to get for love. So there's love this week is hot on the mind. The challenge that we got is the earth element. So maybe there's an insecurity or there's some sort of, in yourself, like, whoa, okay, like, wow, this is something that's beautiful, but you're going to have to step up with actually creating something, step up with actually having to set your value or your self-worth. Maybe you don't feel like you're good enough, or maybe you feel like, you're not grounded enough, that maybe the relationship or the love might be that you've been doing has just been not with any grounding. This is like, let's bring some grounding into it. That's a challenge. Like, if this love's going to happen, we need to earth this motherfucker down. Boom.
Boom.
Because maybe you've been trying relationships that have been way off earth. You pulled this guy's card. The overall is the void off course moon missing.
Good old friend.
But I think that, this card overall is saying like, maybe this is you finishing out this feeling of something that's missing by finally finding something grounded in your love element. Like, there is no other way. If this is the outcome card, it means that you're coming to the outcome of the moon where it's been void off course. It's an ending cycle because a void off course moon is the end of the sign moving into a new one. So you are at the end of a cycle with love and moving into a new one. That's how I would definitely look at it, because astrologically speaking, it's a very minor moment. So I wouldn't call this like a whole week of feeling like overall like you're missing something, because this is a very just like boom, 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 boom aspect. But I feel that especially because you pulled the Lovers with this Earth as the challenge, I think that that's part of what's been missing is like the quality or the actual physical like grounding in the relationship. Your spiritual advice card, wow, you got the Knight of Wands upright. You are running towards love like a motherfucker this week. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love this Botticelli card because that is like the best Knight of Wands I've ever seen. All the other Knight of Wands are just kind of like, okay, the horse is up. This guy is running for love big time. Upright with the earth element. You got all upright cards and you've got this with the earth. So it's like you're running towards actually getting through challenges where things haven't actually physically manifested the way that you want to. But I think that a lot of this is about, if the outcome is the void off course moon missing, don't run towards things that have been missing in the past or that you've tried before, or keep running towards something that you've tried that was missing something. Why'd you get that Lover's card? Wow, I knew something bad has gone on, or just you have felt trapped. You've just not felt like love's been going your way. And I'm here to tell you that it is, but you had to go through some really shitty shit and you had to get, feel like you were stuck, because there's a big payoff with this. And let's see that void off course moon. I'm feeling something. I knew it was such a great, oh my God, the 10 of Cups. I don't even know how we get a better reading for fucking anybody.
Is here, my friend.
Yes, Paradiso and Paradise.
Yeah. It's right in front of our eyes, Scorpio.
You've won 2 tickets to a rave, and it's got a time machine to take you back to, 2000, and we're going to go. I think that this is just this amazing moment this week that's like what you thought was missing is actually taking you towards the ultimate ever. Like, even if we look at the cards, it's like, we can look at it from this way and the other way. We can look at it as like, fuck, I'm fucked. Wait, hold on. I'm running towards the greatness. Or, yeah, fucking love. I want it to be grounded. That's been an issue and it's been missing. But it's like, oh, it's been missing because that was a shitty situation, right? And it's like, I fucking have the power in my heart. I know where I'm going to the ultimate of what I want. Boom. Scorpio, Uranus in the 10th house. Wow, Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. So this is about trying new, deeper connections, new people or friendship. You need to have friendship, or maybe it's been friends that's moving into a new level. But the 10th house is somebody that has accredited themselves in whether it's their career or their path or their goals. And somebody that actually sees the deeper needs and the passions, and they know how to connect to them within you and sees you fully for where you want to go and believes in that and wants to go with you. Because Uranus and Scorpio is like, let's all get together and fucking have the same passion and let's fucking go. So there's a lot of energy of like, wow, how can all the pieces come together? Because that's Scorpio's issue, is like, okay, I see that we connect, but I don't see all the things that are connecting. And it's like, wait, hold on. Like, you're latching on the same way I like to latch on? Damn. That's when a Scorpio gets all like, let's go. Big direction shifts.
Big directions.
Too. Uranus in the 10th is big, like.
Big. Which way?
Like, Uranus in the 10th is very like, this is what my understanding of my world and where it was going and my path and destiny is like, like, especially in Scorpio, it's like a big explosion. Like, it's like Zeus, like throwing a fucking lightning bolt, like fucking, bam! And just bam!
Well, the soul's work comes from within, and there's not many other signs that can really, really acknowledge and feel the depth and truth of the soul than a Scorpio. So reside in that. Reside in your truth. Live in your future also. Go get that abundance. Run towards it. Don't fear from it. Don't hide. Don't crawl back underneath that cave. We've been putting in too much work. We've been bringing in too much love and abundance to just shy away now. Let it in. Let that love shine, baby.
I love how you said that.
Love shine down on me.
Don't go slipping back in that Scorpio hole, especially backwards, upside down, because you won't flip upside right back down there in the hole, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That flippy floppy.
We got Aries.
Oh, yeah?
We got Aries.
Aries, Scorpio.
Aries.
Oh. What time did Mercury go direct?
It was like 8:49 p.m. Pacific, something like that.
Nice.
We're all planets direct. Check in. Is Mercury out of retrograde? Yep. We're all go. Roger that. Well, Aries, if you want to know more about love, this is more than about knowing about it. This is about actually having all the masterclass skills to understand, especially using astrology, your love story, the story of somebody else. There's so much info. Please go to leoking.com or highvibe.tv. We're on week 3. You can watch week 1 and 2 and be part of the live course, or just wait till the recording comes out on Wednesdays for class 3. This is an 8-week intensive. I'm even going to probably 9 weeks because I've been going way over on my time. I've been giving all my secrets, all my stuff, and people have been digging it. And I'm not just saying that. You can go in comment sections on all my videos and everything, and people are loving this thing. Check it out. Register at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. And if you are putting a timestamp to this, please make sure that you get the whole timestamp in at the beginning when you see the Aries thing, not just when I just start talking and doing the reading, because this is how you keep us on the air. Boop. Thank you. Aries.
You're welcome.
Is coming back online this week, believe it or not, with a full moon in
things.
Virgo. It's trying to get you out of this Piscean, just where the hell am I? Well, you're back in reality. It's like, what the hell? Mercury's out of retrograde in your 11th house. Whoa, you got a lot of things to figure out here about where you want to go with your life right now, because I think that you have done the deepest, weirdest, like, soul searching ever and trying to figure out the world and how that's all going to come together. We also have Venus and Taurus, your 2nd house. So this is about, sure, there's a lot of financial stuff coming up in life, but also this is manifestation. So this is when it comes to love, deep manifestation. We are going to see the moon in Libra this week as well, your relationship house. Yes, it will square your career stuff in Capricorn, but I will say with Jupiter, that's going to be making great aspects here to the sun. This is about you really starting to realize that if you're going to get where you really want to go in your life, you need to have a relationship that's in alignment with the deep spiritual truths that you are in and is able to connect with you in that spiritual sense and is part of that flow. I think that, trying to be in partnerships right now they've got their own toxic shit, or your career isn't going where you want to go, you need to look at your relationship.
And it just started raining.
It started raining right now. First card that we got, Aries, for you this week is the 9 of Pentacles reversed. So I think that you have felt, and I think that this week is about reminding yourself, like, one, you need to know that power that you have in yourself. You need to know that ability to connect with the world that you want, that you have it within yourself. I think that you've kind of felt a little lost or powerless. And so when it comes to love, I think that there is nobody that can make you feel better. So if you're in a relationship and you're expecting your partner to feel better, it's like, no. But this is saying, too, you don't want to go into this week in love relationships and kind of feeling like, or putting the show off like, well, it's okay to be vulnerable. Trust me. This isn't about vulnerability. This is like when it goes farther than vulnerability of like, yeah, I'm not doing that great in my life. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this happen. Like, I really just don't even want to be here anymore. It's like, okay, now you just cross vulnerability to like, okay, now we need to get you help, right? But is that just because you're trying to get attention? I always see that with the 9 of Coins. Like the 9 of Coins, Pentacles, right, is this woman knows how to get the bird to come to her. Well, when it's reversed, it's like, are you trying to like take bird seed and then like in your Aries way, like, I'm going to grab you. It's like not going to work. You got to be ginger. You got to know your value. You got to know your connection with everything around you, the environment around you. And this is about also waking up in your relationship life and going, if your reality is not looking that great, there's some relationship situations going on, or the partners you're choosing, or if you're totally alone, it's because you're choosing to be alone. And maybe it's time for you to go, are you choosing to be alone because you're in a place where you're not in the best of your energy self-worth wise or look wise? Oh, look at that, challenge veiled. So you got a pretty intense challenge card here. This could either A, be a partner that you're talking to that's not revealing everything, and A and B combined. B would be that you have been just kind of standing back, watching everything from the shadows and acting like you're not part of the show, but oh my gosh, are you part of the show? You've been watching everything from behind the scenes. This is a little bit of the creeper card.
Maybe
You know
they're
what I
the
mean?
main attraction.
What?
Maybe they're the main attraction.
Maybe, but I feel that whenever I see a veiled card here in challenge, I almost feel like living through,
Eyes wide shut.
you know, like watching everybody's like social medias and like acting like they're not around, but they're like processing everybody else's life in a weird way, but not revealing, not leaving a comment, not leaving a like. Like, are you doing that with a Nine of Pentacles reversed and a veiled card here? There's a lot saying that you've been just kind of in your own little world here. But I feel that you have to come back out. And so love can happen when you come back out, but even your partnerships probably aren't going well because of the way that you've been acting in your own world. It's good to hermit and go in weird inside, but this isn't hermit for wisdom. This has been like, the cards are saying that you have really just like really pulled out. And I think that this is you having to come back in, Aries. You did get the Mercury retrograde as your outcome card, but it is a reinvention. I think that you have reinvented yourself, but you need to come out and not be afraid to show yourself. Mercury retrograde's over, so the outcome card here is during the Mercury retrograde, you did a reinvention. You have not seen what that reinvention is going to look like yet. So there's a lot of possibilities. I just think that you have no idea what it looks like because there's been so much just kind of pull out, and sometimes there's secrets there with the veiled card, maybe even playing around. That's what I'm saying. But sometimes the secrets are just like creepy, but they're not creepy enough to be creepy, if that makes sense. Just kind of the watcher
Just
from
a little
afar.
weird. Make things a little awkward.
Yeah, let's see that spiritual advice. The Tower card with the veiled. So the spiritual advice is that you need to put an end to holding yourself back, or you know, sometimes the veiled is not wanting to see what you know is in front of you and denying it. So maybe you're dealing with a partnership where you see things aren't really going well. It doesn't make you feel that confident in yourself, and it's forcing you to reinvent yourself constantly. It's like, maybe you need to put an end to that. But having the spiritual advice of the Tower is like, whatever you're doing is not working. So if this is about a relationship, not working. If this is about you and why you're single and things aren't working, well, you need to put an end to whatever you're doing because it's not working, especially when it comes to this part of yourself you're not willing to reveal. And maybe that is some deeper vulnerabilities, but also crossing the line where it's more than a vulnerability and it's becoming kind of, you know, like, what the hell is going on? You did pull the Four of Wands reversed here with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So I think that with this Four of Wands, it's saying reverse. Like, I think that, you know what? It's like you're not believing in anything great that could go down. I mean, it is the marriage card, of course, and love readings and so forth, about events and so forth. So maybe, you know, it's like maybe you're realizing that you're in a partnership where the marriage, or if you're trying to get married, they're not showing up fully, or you're not showing up fully, or there's something off there for some people. Two, I think that this is also just feeling like you've been not part of great things lately. It just feels like you've been just kind of part of like where you don't feel like you got the invite. You know what I mean? That kind of feeling. But maybe they didn't invite you because you've been stressing the fuck out and you need to stop. You've made the reinventions. I think that you had a lot of kind of freakouts, but the reversal here is saying like, try the new reinvention. It will not freak you out anymore. You reinvented yourself and you made some changes inner-wise. And I think that you've seen all the freakouts. This Tower card is ending the freakout show. It's ending the show where you don't feel invited. It's ending the show that doesn't feel like there's a party anymore, but you've got to put some sort of ending to something that you've been afraid to expose. You did pull the third house with the North Node. Yeah, that's the North Node. With Virgo. So yeah, you need to communicate the reality you want. You need to make changes in your reality, and your environment needs to change. You need to change things up. There's too much that, I don't know, it's like you've been kind of in your own weird world. And I think that this is just saying like, get back into reality, get back into communicating again, get back into socializing, get back into having fun, get back into like movement in your life, because I feel like there's been a lot of non-movement, especially romantically for you, and you need to get things moving. You need to speak, you need to spark things up, and you need to change things up. This is all about a lot of change, especially North Node in the third in Virgo. Massive change.
You need to cut the bullshit. You need to cut the bullshit, get to the truth. You made decisions. Maybe you felt like they were right at the time. Maybe it turned out that you should have made other decisions, but yet you made those decisions. So you need to stick with them. You need to tear down whatever that blockage is that's not letting you get over that hump. It's time to move forward. Leave everything else in the past as to where it was. Progress forward with new relationships. You know, build on with the people that are there and standing with you and that are supporting you. There's support all around, but are you going to actually take it, or are you just going to keep stuck inside your head saying why you can't do something when really you can? You have all the tools there. Just got to look around, pick them up, and then move forward.
Yes.
What do we have there, Patch Adams?
Hello. Leo. It's like I have a cat, the Leo Prince, and I call him Leo. It's like, Leo. Leo. Hey, Leo. It's your sign now. Oh, great. You know what's weird is doing this show? I just like, I don't look forward to doing a reading for my thing. I was like, I don't even know if I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Like, you know, like being a lion and getting told everything is like, sometimes I just like to piss around the whole entire boundary line of the fucking Sahara and say, these are the boundaries. This is where I'm at. Like, I'm just eating my fucking gazelle and just, you know, roaring when I want to and playing around with the cubs and just fucking being the king of the jungle. And sometimes it's just like, oh, you want me to go talk to fucking, what was it in Lion King? The little
Mufasa?
No, the little
Meerkat?
bamboo or the baboon.
Mufasa?
Oh, Mufasa was the father of Simba.
Yeah, deadbeat dad just leaving his kid all by himself.
The bamboo. The freaking, what's his name? The baboon.
Rafiki, I think it was.
Well,
We'll call him Rafiki.
anyway.
Maybe someone can help
Talking
in
to
the
that
chat.
guy when it's
Pretty
like,
sure it's Rafiki.
can I just go over there and eat and play and hump? Speaking of playing around and having fun and love and humping, Leo, join the Leo Kings Love and Relationship Masterclass Astrology Love School. You can register now at leoking.com or highvibe.tv. Leo, I don't have to talk to you about love, but I know I can teach you how to do it much better. Your issue is not love, it's just what to love. We'll just go there. If you're timestamping that, make sure that you cover that whole thing, even the whole talk I was having about baboons and being a lion and pissing all over the Sahara.
Rafiki.
Please. Boop. All right, Leo. Well,
Time to meet your demise.
yeah,
Leo.
remember as a Leo and a double Leo, I'm just always like, God, this astrology.
All those lovely, lovely
Just
Leos
so much
out
is
there.
at the end of the zodiac, and I'm not around here, and this is all my enemies, you know? So, Leo, career and work is your love. So somebody's got to try to fit into that. Since Venus is in Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn is in Capricorn, your sixth house of work. But then you have desires and needs and wants. The sun is in the eighth house and this full moon's in the second house. So it definitely wants to physically have the emotions that you want to feel in the depth. With Mercury coming out of retrograde in the seventh house, you probably might be in some confusing or communicative, weird situations in relationships that you're trying to figure out. And especially last 3 weeks, just like trying to figure out where's that all at. So this week there's a lot to figure out, and it's all about what fits in your life, your work, and where you're going. Because a lot of great career aspects, especially with Jupiter and Sun this week, especially with 8th house and 6th house. Like, this is about like connecting to people who make sense for your reality. And you know what? Like any good Leo, the queen, or if you're a queen looking for a king, needs to fit in your castled world. Like, Leos really do not go
King of the castle, king of the
in
castle.
other people's full worlds. Like, sure, we do with family and stuff like that because it's what castles do, right? We become part of families and stuff. But we're not that. You don't see Leos pick up and move by themselves and go, I'm moving into that person's whole like world and life. No, Leos have their own castles and their own chalets and their own places.
Good.
That's the issue.
Places to go, people to see. No
Pretty
time
much.
for you common folk. Pick up my bags.
Like, if somebody ain't going to fit in your world or they don't want to be part of that castle, like, Like, they don't even get to be on the royal court. You know what I mean? It's like, take them out the back door. They are not going to be seen anywhere near my front gates. Like, goodbye. Leos are fucked up, aren't they? All right, let's see what the cards have to say. Fuck, man. I think I'm stressed being a Leo because I think of the astrology and I'm like, I don't know how Leos are making it.
One day at a time, my brother. That's all we can do. One day at a time.
I could say this, though, being a Leo, it's making Leo stronger. Popeye shit. You know what I mean? All right. First card that we got for Leo is the Empress reversed. So anybody who is not in their self-worth, their value, they know their worth, they know what they're here to do, they know how to create, because the Empress, she knows what she's doing. Especially being a Leo, right? Like, you want an Empress if you're a guy, or if you're into girls and you're a girl, whatever, you know? But there is this whole part where it's like you want somebody who knows their value and wants to own that fucking seat and own that throne. But anybody who can't own that throne, doesn't know how to own that throne, doesn't know how to know the value in their life or create or manifest very well, you got to be wary of that. You got to be wary of that. Somebody who doesn't know how to take care of things on their own. Because an Empress, and if you're in that position, well, you're not ready for love, sorry to say. I could say that because my whole life is just taking care of my fucking self all day. So fucking, but that's the whole flip of this, Leo. Like, if the partnership is somebody, or if you're dealing with a partner right now and they're not able to even like take care, especially I always notice with the Empress reverse is like simple shit. Like shit that just like you do on the regular, like on the fucking, like on the fly. Like it's just like, how is that going to work? It's a big question. If you have this big seat open next to you, throne, but getting on the clothes and knowing which clothes to wear on the throne is an issue, well, do they have throne school?
It's called cotillion.
I don't know if they have throne school.
I took it in 5th grade.
Because royalty is fucking royalty, baby. Challenge part is this healer card with the all-seeing eye of Horus. So maybe this is a very kind of difficult time for you, Leo, just in the fact that I think that the challenge is you feel like it's like maybe nobody sees you fully for you, especially with the Empress reversed, and what you might be able to create or what you have. And maybe you feel like it's like that might feel like you with the healer here, it almost feels like, oh, and challenge, it's like somebody really sees and they know how to like come into and come into that castle and know how to heal you, but it almost feels like nobody's seeing it really. But it might be an illusion. It is a challenge card. But with that Empress reverse, it does feel like, do they have to really go to throne school? Like, fuck. Do they need to go to cotillion?
I recommend it. Foxtrot, the tango.
I'm definitely not following my grandma's cotillion.
Learn the basics of all
smoking
all
in
etiquettes.
2000 fucking
It's real good. Real good
20
stuff.
on Deep Love Tarot.
That's where I got my foundation of my dance moves. They all derive from cotillion.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you know which fork to use, how to use the spoon correctly, how to pass the bread, how to pass the butter, how to do all that shit.
And if I have
You'd be amazed in today's American society. I see people and they're like crossing their shit. I'm always like, my cotillion part of my brain is just like, oh my God. Like if I was at dinner right now with some fucking nice people or something, they'd freak out. Like, I learned tricks though from my grandfather about cotillion, but you know, we're English, Palmers, right? Came on the fucking Mayflower. So fucking, I'll teach you a trick. When you have soup, you're never allowed to just take the crackers and put them in a soup if you're at a really nice dinner, right? That's against fucking cotillion, against the royalty. But what you do, and my grandfather would do this, is he would kind of crinkle it up underneath, like, you know, in the bag, and then like go to open and go, oops! Oh, pardon me, everybody. I accidentally, you know, spilled my crackers. They just happened to end up in the soup.
Pardon me, I spilt in my soup.
They just fell in there, you know. But I feel like Leos are just feeling like nobody's understanding or seeing how much it takes to step into this world. The outcome here is the third house. People that really understand it mentally and actually see the environment and see the best. Look at this, two all-seeing, two horse eyes. Look at that. We could even like put them next to each other and be like, ooh, maybe there's a lover right there. Maybe they got one eye half shut, the other one open. I had a patch on earlier. I just think, you know what, Leo? You need stimulation. And I don't think it's stimulation from love. Because you have that from everything. Like you could, I don't know. You can love anybody, really, right? But this is like getting to a point now where it's like, loving anybody's great. But loving somebody who sees the greatness of you, sees the magnificent of you, and sees where to go. You've got way too much shit going on. I've literally been recording since fucking 1 a.m. and it's 11 p.m. and I got 3 hours of sleep in between. So like there's not a lot of time. So somebody has to really know how to come in and see all that and finish and be part of it, right? This third house is saying they understand it, they see it, and they do it. They figure it out. It's very Gemini, third house, right? Like it just understands. It's like pick up the ball and dribble and know how to shoot instead of me telling you, hey, that's a basketball. That's a hoop. That's the 3-point line. That's where you shoot fouls. And you'd have a, it's like, that's a layup. Like somebody who picks up the ball and runs with it. Spiritual advice card is the Hermit Reverse. So I feel like that maybe you've been in a hermit mode or feeling like you want to retreat, but I think this is saying like you don't need to retreat into this feeling like that's not going to show up. Because it almost feels like maybe Leo with this Empress reversed, the Hermit reverse, somebody who has no wisdom, right? With this healer in the challenge position. And with third house as the overall, I just feel like there's a lot about like this kind of feeling like, does anybody really get you fully and what you really need? Let's see. 2 of Cups reversed. That's the issue. Soulmate energies that don't know how to be the Empress aren't going to work. Because they're not seeing things on the same emotional plane or they don't understand them. Third house, 5 of Cups upright. So, yeah, maybe it's like there's a little bit of this shade over things or kind of maybe a disappointment or maybe like some sorrow. There's a sorrow card, but it is about emptying those cups out, remembering that there's still cups to be filled left with people that get what to fill the cups up with. It's kind of like saying, can you go fill up my cup with Sprite? And they come back with water. Like, oh, I thought you would rather have some water. It's like, It literally is like, bah! Don't ever, if I ask you for Sprite, bring me water. I'm not going to throw a fit, but I'm going to go. You think you know what's better for me and what I feel like drinking right now? Has that ever happened to you just in life when you ask for something and it's right there, but they choose something else for you and you're like, yeah, you're like asking a waiter for, can I get a fucking filet mignon, please? And it's like, I think that you should have the trout tonight, so I brought you the trout.
Making lemonade with lemons that are given you.
No.
Make that lemonade nice and sweet.
No. Doesn't work.
Tangy sweetness on your tongue.
Doesn't work. That's a 1-star Yelp review, and that's an unhappy Leo. Libra, Saturn. So it's an exalted Saturn, but it's in the second house. Yeah, this is about balancing relationships and which ones have the goods, have the ability to manifest, have the understanding of, and this is you rebalancing out your self-worth. And are you going up and value with the partnerships you're choosing, or are you lowering your value? And this is a big question for you and a big choice point this week in the kind of relationships that you choose.
Leo.
You know what? Leo needs a little Ganesha. And you know what's sad? I usually am like, fuck, everybody got shitty readings and I got a good reading, and then I got the shitty reading this week. So we're calling on Ganesh.
Oh, Ganesha, what do you have in store for us tonight?
Open up all those arms, but please have deodorant on.
With love and compassion.
Even for the smell.
The Leos need to find out how to spark that flame within.
Leos are doing that, but they just don't. It's
vibrance going when it's just them all by themselves.
Leos are just looking for somebody who's got the same spark and sees that spark and knows how to fucking deal with it.
Yeah, but if you don't know your own spark and your own truth, then how is someone going to be able to acknowledge that?
Oh no, Leos know it. It's hard being a king or queen. You got to keep, like look at Jasmine's issue.
She's slumming it.
Jasmine had some issues. So hard being Jasmine.
Oh, Ganesha, what do you have for us
But
tonight?
Aladdin knew just exactly what she needed in her life.
Yeah, street rat.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It's not saying that somebody has to be like royal. Just fit into the world of whatever that Leo needs and is willing to go all in. He fucking used his first wish to be a prince to get with her, even though he was a street rat, and even though it was a street rat she fell in love with, he still did go and use a wish from a genie to get in there. And he never would have got in there if he didn't fucking make that wish to be royal. And that would be like this Empress Reverse. Somebody who's not ready to fucking call up the genie and turn them into an empress or an emperor or some higher form of themselves and really go for it, because there's no way it'll work. You got to fucking go into the diamond in the rough. Remember that?
I do.
All right, Ganesha for Leos.
Oh, Ganesha, what do you have for us?
Sustenance.
Yeah, you got to find that substance within.
Sustenance.
We're changing it to substance. Got to find that substance
Pineapples?
within.
Maybe I go to a Jimmy Buffett concert or something during the CV.
Oh, you need another one?
Yeah, childlike expression. I was like, well, what's the sustenance about? I mean,
finding
sustenance
that joy
is like,
within.
I mean, there's a pineapple in here. Wow. It's like, I mean, I'll be honest. Some of this Oracle shit, I'm like, okay, sustenance, okay. You're really not telling me much here, Ganesha. You got your trunk around a pineapple.
Yeah, finding joy in the small
things. And it's childlike expression.
Finding joy in the small things.
What's up with Ganesha cards and all this fruit?
Ganesha's speaking the truth. You just don't want to listen.
How many cards have fruit in it?
Just not the perfect amount.
Well, maybe they need to know how to make a good smoothie. I don't know. Anyway, that's where it's at, Leo.
Congratulations, Leo. Good thing is, though, you can't go down from there, Leo. You got a lot to look up to. You got a lot to look forward to in this life. But again, don't extinguish your own flame. Stoke it.
That's what I was saying with Leo's. Like,
let that
we love. People don't realize that lions love to piss. Like, we'll piss anywhere. I'll piss anywhere.
And
it's kind of weird. If people were to have like a camera on me in my life, like when I was on reality shows, like all the time, like you'd be like, you just pissed right there. I'd be like, well, I had to piss.
Get back to your true passions, Leo.
I don't know. Like wonder.
We
like to piss, and we like to
find that love within.
Be fully our fucking. Find that love within. You got to remember that the only zodiac sign that is a carnivore, that is a beast, is Leo. So you got to let Leos be that wild fucking animal that people go on safaris just to see one.
Well, Leos also
You know
have
what
to
I mean?
let that little mouse pull that prick from their paw. Also,
Oh.
yeah.
Good one. Just throw that boring relationship up thing for me again. Just pop my fucking balloon, bro. Oh, just pop that damn balloon, Sag. Pop that balloon.
Sag.
Pop it.
Oh, here we go.
We got Sages now? Okay.
We do. Sag
Well,
all real loaded, ready to roll.
hold up. We got to clear
Got to clear that
the
Leo
beast here.
funk.
The fucking wild animal has come back. Because I went into wild animal mode there. Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sag.
Hello,
Have you
welcome.
checked out the Love Masterclass by the Leo King? Even though Leo had a bad reading this week, it don't mean that I don't know how to teach it, because I've been through the weirdest shit in life. Even I put that in the description. I've been in famous relationships. I've been in tabloid relationships. I've been in fucking crazy relationships in life. I've been married and divorced. I know pretty much how it all works, but from an astrological standpoint too. Make sure you check it out, Sag. I know that you have been through a lot in your relationship life, because you're another fire sign, you're a Sag, and oh boy, you have gone through all the experiences, haven't you? Check it out. Register at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. And if you are timestamping this, make sure that you please show this and all the fun stuff that we do right before we even go into the reading and all this stuff, because people deserve to watch that.
Boop.
Sag, this week, we're still in the 4th house of Pisces. This full moon was happening in your Virgo 10th house of big things for you to reach for in your life. Time to make some more big adult decisions and get out of like the messy waters of your emotions, because this has been a really weird emotional time with a Mercury retrograde that went through your emotional house and it went back into your 3rd house. Like you are mentally and emotionally like in love right now, like all over the fucking place. And with this Sag energy, you got to remember like this full moon is trying to get the stability back of getting a structure about what is the best for you in the long term here. Now, Jupiter in aspect, that is your home planet, but guess what? It's trying to have you say, like, you need to look at the values of yourself and what you can manifest and create. And if you're in relationships with Venus now in your 6th house, that you're in a reality that you're not being valued, you're not actually like manifesting fully, or you're relying on some sort of other person's energy or other person's money, or you're the one, the breadwinner, or they're the breadwinner. Because there's this whole thing about Sages right now when it comes to, if you're a Sag and you're the breadwinner, it feels like your partner isn't showing up. Or if you're a Sag and they're the breadwinner, it feels like you're never good enough. So, Sag, you got to get in a much more equal situation here, because you are all over the place with all this Pisces emotional stuff. And especially this week, the moon in Libra in your 11th, and then the moon in Scorpio in your 12th house to oppose that Venus. There's going to be some, like the universe is like, we got to dump anything that is not valuing you and your reality and your manifesting ability. And like, how long are you going to keep going until you keep manifesting the shitstorm of the reality that really is kind of not the full life of beauty that you really want to have? Sages go for and take adventures and have the risk taking of self-worth, but you got to have courage here. And it's definitely asking you to do that. And the moon will be in your sign on this weekend, squaring the sun in Pisces. So guess what? An emotional storm is coming if you're not going to pay attention to any of the stuff I was just talking about, especially about breadwinning. Which side of the bread are you on? Are you on the short end, or are you the one making all the bread and then feeding everybody and then you barely get any?
The chat is saying that we didn't do a dice for Leo. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did. We did Saturn and Libra in the 2nd house.
Yeah, you got to find balance and get back to that childlike wonder
And a choice
stoke
between,
that flame, that
I don't want
happiness
to mess
within.
up Sag's reading, but Leo's was Saturn and Leo or Libra about making a choice in relationships, about somebody who has got the value and the worth, or are you going to go lower in value and worth, and that's where your choice is.
Childlike wonder.
First card that we got for Sagittarius this week is the King of Wands reversed. So I am feeling like Sagittarius are not feeling like they're in their power. King of Wands also in reverse kind of feels like that you feel dumb or stupid about the love choices you've been making lately, or you're going to make a stupid love choice this week. So be careful, Sag. It's about making sure that you really are in full power of your love from heart space, not from physical goods or physical aspects or emotional security, but from true love and true happiness. But you can blur those lines with it reversed and be a King of Wands that's faking it because of, well, I'm safe because I've got this, or I'm safe because this person's taking care of my emotional like fears or anything weird like that. Don't start playing the idiot.
Don't do it.
And don't start trying to own the heart when it doesn't have any backing to it at all.
Don't you do it.
Look at this.
That's a beautiful card.
This is going to be a gnarly reading for Sagittarius. It looks like the fire signs are having some weird fucking week. Karmic path, Saturn in your challenge position. So Sag, beep, red alert. This is the challenge. You are not ready to face some of this karmic shitstorm about idiotic choices in love. I have been saying this one for so long with Sagittarius. I don't even know how much more I can even say.
Many moons.
Literally, almost like dozens of moons.
Maybe even
Dozens.
4 dozen? 4 dozen moons?
No.
12 dozen?
No. I mean, we're not going to go get some donuts right now. You know what I mean?
50 years worth of moons?
I just think that this karmic path thing just challenges, like, you're avoiding a karmic choice that you know has just been plaguing you. Plaguing. It's like, it's written all over. It's like Saturn is a saw blade in space, okay? So, like, it's literally like a saw blade that's been after you, and you just keep throwing up that, like, it's not going to get me. It's not going to get me. It's not going to get me. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, okay. This challenge this week is actually the saw blade is coming through the wall. Zing!
Zing. Shink. Shink.
Like repeating just really, and again, Saturn is in your second house of self-worth. So it's like devaluing yourself or getting in these really weird situations, especially with King of Wands reversed. It's like, gosh, I feel like such an idiot. How did I do this? And like, it's like situations where you're like, fuck. And not being valued because of it either. Spiritual, or your outcome is the 9th house. You got to have faith. You got to take some leaps here. You got to believe and expand into your life and expand your heart. Maybe there's some Sagittarius that are single that have been through some shit, but they just don't believe in going into the thing, and they think that their karmic path is just to have a shithole love life. Well, that ain't the truth. And it ain't the truth that you have to be in the shitty romantic situation where you feel like the karmic writing is on the wall, that the hardship and the self-worth issues, and especially with the King of Wands reverse, like the idiotic, like, oh yeah, like, I really own this love that really is not, that you have no power of. Or that person doesn't give you the power back. You got to have faith that you can, but you know what? This is the whole Sag thing, right? It's like they believe on belief on belief on belief, right? So I believe that I can fix a fucked up situation because it's fucked up. So I believe that I can fix that. And it's just like this overtopping Jupiter. Like I can believe I can fix the whole, everything, always. I'm addicted to heroin at the moment and the needle's in my arm, but I believe that I will not overdose for the 25th time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay. Let's see that spiritual advice. Queen of Cups reversed. All right. You're not facing the karmic path because you're an uncomfortable person who would rather take the comforts of shit to not deal with hard choices and not deal with karmic decisions. So what really that means is that you are totally afraid of actually stepping into true emotional security. So that's like, I am going to just sit in this crap and just keep mothering this crap. Like, I'm just going to because at least that's safer. So you got a King of Wands reversed and you got a Queen of Cups reversed. Both deal with love, emotion, and they're reversed. Why'd you get that King of Wands? The Chariot, you're so afraid to move on. You're afraid to move on. You're afraid to be connected with the true path in your life, the true divine path that the Spirit, the whole universe is calling you towards. You got that 9th house because you're the Fool reversed. All right. Talk about why I was asking, like, feeling like a love idiot. This is being drunk on love idiot fucking potion 309, but really it's a bottle of 409 that you fucking drank. Remember 409?
I do.
Drink a bottle of that shit, and I bet you feel like the fool. So, if it's already been over, and it's just like you need to move on now, Sag. You know what I mean? Like you're still trying to make something that's so fucking retarded done. I know people don't like when I use that word. I'm sorry, that slipped out. I was born in 1984. Doing my best here. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry. Didn't mean to offend anybody
So
with that word.
inconsiderate. Jeez.
I'm meaning it from my heart. It's like, you know, like we're from California. I think people forget sometimes on the internet, like surfing culture, skate culture, like these are the words that we were just using. I know it's not right, but I'm just saying, like, it's just embedded since I'm a kid of the 90s, you know? I'm a kid of, you know, like, gee, Merry Christmas. So, Sag, I got to pull you, Ganesha, because energetic movement. You need to move into a much more energetic place, like that's new and exciting and fun, because I am sorry, there's just so much about whether you're still holding on to somebody or you're holding on to an ex or you're holding on to a situation that's just not moving and it's not energetic and it's not vibrating with you. And there's a lot of like this fool energy, like feeling stupid. And why do you have to keep doing that? 10th house, Leo, Venus. Wow. You know what? You need somebody that is way more authoritative, that knows what they want in their life, that is much more loving, that has love in their heart, and actually knows how to make you feel good. Instead of like you being the authority, you're the one who has to keep showing the love and the light, and you're the one that has to keep, you know, showing that, but you're not receiving that back. There you are.
It's almost so we've gotten caught. We've gotten caught behind that chariot and being pulled in so many different directions, and then we're not sure about it. So yeah, we kind of just began to reside in this mud. And at first it was a wet mud. We could still kind of move around. We're still fluid in our thoughts. And as time goes on, we just kind of cakes on, dries up, gets harder and harder. And as those thoughts get on, we just kind of fixate on the situations that aren't correct, that are just keeping us back. When we're that, in all reality, if we get in touch with our emotions, we're going to soften that mud back up and begin to progress forward. We're going to grab it on that chariot and let the universe actually take us on the most wild and amazing, beautiful ride that is ever available.
Boom.
Boom.
Ever.
Hey, it's that mud, you know.
Long time.
You got to wet it back up. Even if it takes some tears, you know, just cry yourself to freedom. What is it? I can't read it.
Libras.
Oh, we're about to balance it out, huh?
Hello. Did you know Mr. Rogers was a Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, from what I heard recently?
Interesting.
Nothing to do with Libras, but just thought I'd let people know.
Mr. Rogers could probably use a little love, right?
Hey, Mr. Rogers, I watched the Tom Hanks movie recently. Mr. Rogers gave out shit tons of love and held it down even when people made fun of him. He made love like truthful and real, and people made fun of him for it because they were all doing coke in the 80s going, fuck Mr. Rogers, you know what I mean? Truth.
True.
Hey, Libra, come here. Come closer. Come a little closer. Are you ready for the Love Masterclass? Because you damn well need it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe you do. You are a Libra. Hey, it's Love and Relationship Astrology Masterclass from the Leo King. Make sure that you register now at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. I'm going to teach you everything about the kind of partner that works for your own love story and the ones that don't. How to do this all on your own, how to look at your own chart, how to understand love, all of the traditional astrology, and all of my unique hacks, secrets, and codes. Make sure you check it out right now if you want to find out more information and be part of it. We're on week 3. You can watch the recordings. You can do it all from the awesome part of your phone. Check it out, theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. And make sure that if you are timestamping this, that you get the beginning of Libra and not the beginning of Libra where you missed this part. Thank you so much. Well, Libras, desire. Let's talk about desire a little bit.
What is it you desire?
Venus in the 8th house of Taurus.
What do you want
Libras
to
need
love?
that sensual desire extremely. They got Taurus in the 8th house. Like, it's all about the feeling physically that triggers the connection. So if a Libra doesn't have that, they ain't getting into something. Unless 8th house, they're getting paid a shit ton of money. That's about it. So the only way for you, Libra, to get into it is if you're getting a shit ton of money, and then you'll be like, okay. Or you got to feel it. And I think that this is a week where it's like you need to test the waters about who you're dating or if you're in a relationship about if the feeling of depth is really there. You've never been in these this deep in these waters before where you really need that. You might have all the pieces all together, right? Mercury just was retrograde in your 6th house. Like, oh, my reality is great. And then it went retrograde into the 5th. Oh, look at this. This looks happy. And then, we're going to wreck. What? You might be with a lover that actually you're not really getting all the goodies, if you know what I mean. All the waterways aren't firing, let's say. Possibly.
What?
Need to get a squirt gun. You know what I mean? Like super soaker shit. It's the only way Libras work. Sorry to say, for love. I'm just being real. And it takes a weirdo, like somebody that's exciting and different. Not like weirdo though. Libras can end up with really big weirdos. And I got a feeling that a lot of Libras with all this emotional stuff have looked for emotional security in weirdos. So this is going to see if it's Niagara Falls or
The Mojave Desert?
no, I was going to say like
Death Valley?
a urinal flush. There's no water in half those urinal flushes in liberal states. So, where are you at, Libra? Are you ready for your deep truth? Are you ready for you to have the reality that you're not lost in? For some sort of emotional security or some sort of like where you're not getting it all? Like you're missing? It's like there's something about that Aquarius 5th house that always trips me out about it, Libra. It's like weirdos or really exciting and crazy. But sometimes you're like, wow, this is really crazy. But fuck, oh my gosh, the waterways are going. You know what I mean? And that's how you know. And that's what being a Libra is having to balance out. Like, okay, I got to balance this whole thing out. But that's when you feel like you're in love. But when it starts to be like, this is really boring. And it's just, gosh. Well, I got a feeling Libras are dealing with some boring shit. Let's see what it's going to say. The Fool card reversed. Oh, gosh. This guy's been popping up a lot. Yeah. This is like driving a car with a blindfold on at 100 miles an hour. This is like taking a boat out with no water in it. You have to really, I think, this week, Libra, start to reprocess the relationship life and be like, why is it the way that it's looking right now? Well, maybe you've been not really paying attention and you chose not to pay attention. You know, the Fool card is like the drunk fool that's like, everything's great, and the dog's laughing, and it looks so good, and then you just fall off the cliff. Oh, my God! So we got some truth to drop on you today, Libra. It looks like we got a truth bomb here. This one's going to be a pretty gnarly one because the astrology is matching up with this one pretty good. So your challenge cards have... Oh. The soulmate card is your challenge. I felt this one. I don't know. I was just tapping into Libras and I was just like, tap it in. It's like, really, it reminds me of the collective reading, how we were talking about how somebody you can just totally believe is, right? Like this amazing thing. And then it's just like, like fucking put on the brakes, fucking get me the fuck out of here. And it's like, oh, I'm stopping at this house because I ran out of gas. And you walk in and it's like, I'm in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. For single Libras out there, but there is no such thing as a single Libra. They're always talking to somebody, or they're always still fucking the action. They're always doing something like that. They're keeping some waterways flowing, you know what I mean? I don't know a Libra who's not always talking. Very rare to meet a Libra that's just single, not talking to a soul. They hide that shit. 8th house, Taurus. They hide what they really want to feel. We'll see. I don't want to scare Libras because, man, they're already probably just tripping right now, the ones in relationships. But come on, Libra. Is this really this is a test? Is this really a soulmate, or were you drunk and dumb? And also, I don't know why my guides are saying the weirdo card. Like if you look at a picture of your partner with you, does it feel like a weirdo? Like everybody would be like, oh, they look nice. Wow, you got your overalls, Uranus, the break free card, the freedom card, but also the genius that finally figures out when looking at things from a different angle. Interesting that Uranus is in your 8th house of sexual waterways. Maybe you need to go jet skiing. Get a big old jet nozzle.
Get a big old boat.
I just feel like that, yeah, that, you know what, overall, I think that by you realizing that maybe you've been love drunk, that maybe you might actually come into the ultimate genius of starting to see what actually is really going on. But the big question is if you're going to do the break free or if you're going to just fix the love drunk. But pretty hard to fix love drunk. It'd be like having a one-night stand drunk with somebody and you had your beer goggles on. Now you're going to have a baby. Now you can try and fix it all you want, but that ideal? Yeah, I thought that was it. The 4 of Wands reversed over the soulmate card. If this is a past marriage, if this is somebody that you're hoping to marry, if this is somebody that's an ex, if this is somebody that you have just totally, completely, at one time or now are putting the end all be all on, you need to take a fucking second look at this motherfucker because you might be walking into, again, or you might be walking into, for the first time, the most foolish situation ever, okay? I'm just putting it out there. Ace of Swords, you need to think straight and new and look at things from a new angle because this Fool card did not see things straight. So the Ace of Swords is like, we need to start over, we need to look at a fresh new slate, and we need to jam it with truth. We need to wake this fool up inside the Libra. Queen of Cups reverse. So it's like, the reason why you need to look at things at different angles is because this is like emotional attachment to things that felt safe, but really they're not giving you anything back in return. So I think that you need to start to connect with things that actually are where you really are emotionally at, because to be honest with you, I just feel like you're acting on these other emotions that aren't really the color and accepting them and being like, this is normal, but it's like, it's not normal. Trust me. Not normal. Mars and Gemini in the 2nd house. Well, this is time to look at the truth, take action on the truth about the true values and actually the true worth, and actually look inside yourself and be like, is this really what I want? Is this actually stimulating to me? Is this exciting? Is this actually where I really want to go? Is this good communication? Is this really the powerful energy that I know in my head that I really want? Or do you have doubts? Do you have questions? You have any questions about it, that means that you don't have any power moving forward. And why do you think that it might be stagnant or taking its time? Mars does not like the second house because it has to, this is not like a $5, fucking Little Caesars pizza you're fucking cooking up here that you're trying to fucking sell as the ultimate marriage of your life. Like, I'm sorry to say, Little Caesar is not somebody to marry. You know what I mean? Like,
$5
pizza.
hot and ready. These things are actually pretty good. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Okay. The guy who calls up Chicago and fucking overnight Chicago pizza is trying to tell me that you're down with Little Caesars?
If y'all want some Chicago deep dish delivered, tasteofchicago.com.
Overnighting Chicago pizza and Little Caesars?
Throw that shit on ice.
Libras, are you dealing with a Little Caesar here with a Little Caesar?
He's just a Little Caesar.
Woo! What do you have to say about that one, dog? That was that reading just went, whoa.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there. I think Libras are some really weird, trying to go back or with somebody that is not even close to.
Well, they hold the power within, and it's that finding that balance within of should they stay, should they go? Do I want this person in life? Do I not want this person in my life? It's very easy to get stuck into that situation where you kind of just feel like, yeah, they're here now, so I'm going to ride with it, when really you need to kick them the hell out. I don't know. There's a bunch going on. So much going on in my mind. I don't know. I still got lasers shooting through my eyeballs.
Virgo.
I got lasers in my
I know,
eyes.
I guess I'm still dancing like I'm fucking, I changed and shit.
Freaking laser beams in my freaking eyes.
Bop. Wow, that was a Libra reading to talk about.
Yeah, there's a little too much going on. It's like I couldn't even concentrate.
Oh.
I cannot compute.
Like, that Libra reading was gnarly enough to where I'm gonna hit this thing unfiltered.
You're gonna rip the filter. Look at you. Stepping, showing yourself to the world.
I can smoke an unfiltered cigarette.
Non-filtered.
My grandpa taught me when I was a fucking kid by just watching him.
So, fun thing.
We're at 1.9 thousand. We're almost at 2,000.
Taught him how to sneak crushed up crackers into his cotillion soup and smoke non-filtered cigarettes.
Well, he didn't teach me. I just watched him on that one.
Taught him.
But he did have a cigarette next to me on the couch every day when I was a little baby.
There you go. If y'all missed it, this dope-ass painting behind me. Kim did it. It's on High Vibe right now. Just search There's an Art to Life. It's free. She'll take you through step by step. Here's the original. The original and the new one. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that beautiful artwork that I did, actually. You saw it, Mr. Palmer.
I did.
It's fantastic, and it's all because of this. Using circles, paint pens.
That was Craig's weekend. He's painting.
My weekend was sitting within my self-love. I hung out with my sister a bunch, and I'm just letting that love come to me. I'm not trying to force it.
She did my hair. When was that? Wednesday?
I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday.
Thursday?
Something like that.
She always does my hair. She always gets it right. She's a Leo, though.
She is a Leo.
Her and I have our Leo talks. We talk politics.
How's it go? I'm a lion. We're the only ones here that are carnivores in the zodiac, and we're not letting anything come and pull the prick from our paws because we're just gonna sit up here on the throne. You can't come up here with me.
I was in school hanging out with your sister before I hung out with you.
You can't come up here and with me. I'm on the throne.
Your sister's dope.
This is my throne.
I get along with your sister.
It's not your throne.
You get along with your sister.
Yeah, I do. She's chill.
You've got a cool sister, so. That's how back fucking Craig and I go. It's kind of crazy. All right. Before Virgos get into this fucking message, they definitely need the Love Masterclass fucking school. You guys are going through the most I've seen of anybody besides Cancers in relationships. So, Virgo, this might be the investment you might want to make in your life right now, because you got some really confusing love situations going on right now. Go to theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. Enjoy my masterclass. I'll teach you what's going on. You need to understand your own love story here and make sure that you're playing that out with partners right and making sure that you're doing things and understand what you're doing, because there's a lot of confusion going on here. And I'm going to try and help you all out. Not even try, I'm going to help you all out. Check it out. And if you are somebody who is doing timestamps, graciously, all I ask is that you make sure that you start at the beginning of this so you don't cut this part off. Thanks.
Yes, because remember, there is no try. There is only do or do not.
All right, Virgo. This was just a big full moon in your sign. This is lighting you up literally and your relationships to you with the Sun and Neptune. You are in some really weird shit with relationships. Sun and Neptune in opposite. Especially this buildup over the last 72 hours, as we just had Mercury that left your relationship house earlier in the week, right? And then it was the buildup of this full moon, and then Mercury back into Aquarius to stop, and stopping in your 6th house and like almost trying to control the reality and the weird shit going on. And with all this energy in your 5th house, it's like you're being led towards this love you want in your life, but you got to get a grip and control on it, because there's some part of you that's either denying it or trying to play off the whole, like, I got to stay in something that I really don't want to stay in because I've got rules that I got to do it. But my whole entire fantasies are somewhere else. And then Venus in the 9th is like, you have all these experiences that are, Uranus has been doing this for the last couple of years. It's been saying, I need new experiences. I need to experience new things, or the relationship needs to explore new things, or I need people who have the same beliefs as me, or gosh, there's so much going on for being a Virgo right now. It's almost like overwhelming with this many planets in Capricorn in your 5th house of love. This is like a chess game that you're playing, and it's getting a little bit like old. Like, it'd be like, the reason why I don't smoke unfiltered cigarettes isn't because, I don't mind them. It's just because you get little pieces of tobacco in your fucking mouth, right? So it's like, wouldn't that get old every day?
I need to get the tar tooth.
Yeah. Virgo, come on. This is not a chess game you can win. You're in stalemate right now. Because now, Jupiter in your love house is going to make aspects to the sun. This is going to be the only time it happens for the next 12 years where you got to be honest about your heart and your relationship life. Like, you've got to be fully honest and transparent. And you got the malefics here in your 5th house. Like, you can't just keep, playing like you've got some sort of like, everything's fine, everything's under control. When there's so much more going on with Mercury in your 6th house, there's so much in your head going on. There's so much in the reality. It's like you're trying to keep a grip, or you're trying to figure out this chess game in relationships and figure out, like, if you're trying to play love like a fucking crazy chess game.
We're just playing checkers, baby. We're just playing checkers.
It's not even a game,
It's life. Life ain't no game. You got to take it serious.
It's about living in your true happiness. So your stress levels, the way that you treat other people right now, are all signals of where you are and how you are with life and love. Let's see what this has to say for you this week. Wow, you got the Ace of Wands reversed. So this is kind of a hard card, of course, for love, because Ace of Wands is triumphing forward, but it's almost like you want to go into something new, but you can't. There's still something that's old. There's still something that you have to clear up, or you can't go forward until you go backwards and deal with things. So you're having to rehash things, or you're having to go backwards, or you're having to, you can't get to that Ace of Wands, that new energy, because you haven't cleared old energy. So there's a lot about looking at old energy, whether that's you have an ex or an ex-lover that you haven't cleared out of your life, or you haven't cleared a past relationship, or you haven't, even cleared in your heart space, like your own happiness. But I think that a lot of this too is like you have something that you want to move forward with, but there's some rehashing that has to go down here. And that might be in yourself, and that might be an actual physical situation, because Ace of Wands definitely is you feeling like you need to go back and deal with something, or you think maybe you tried to go into something new and then you're like, you got scared and you're trying to go back. Let's see what's going on with your challenge. Uh-oh, the shadow. There's something hidden here. It's not a fun shadow either. That's a shredder. So, for some of the more deeper spiritual people out there, the challenge is maybe you've had some shadows that have kind of come out that have caused challenges for you to move forward in a positive love space that you're rehashing right now and that you have to explain or that you have to deal with, but you've got kind of a deeper, sometimes, and I'm going to use the card. It's like a little bit of a monster inside that's not doing the most best things and it's not moving you in the best position. So if we're going to think of this like a chess game, all the wrong pieces are being taken out and you're taking out all the wrong pieces and not playing the game that great. But you've got shadows deal with secrets. They deal with hidden elements of yourself. They deal with elements that could torture us or torture people or torture situations. And this is what I think you're going to come to a culmination this week of getting to the bottom of. Your outcome is the Capricorn card, where you're going to have to make some tough choices. Capricorn has to deal with being an adult and owning them and owning the integrity. And integrity is everything. So you got to own the integrity of the shadows, and you have to own the integrity in order to move forward in your life about rehashing and being honest and truthful. And how are you going to use this truth? How are you going to use this ability? Remember, Capricorn was your love house too. So this is all about you having to really step up with integrity about the truth, about love, with shadows that are lingering. And you need to, maybe if you're still thinking about past lovers, there's some shadow work there that you've done there, right? So why go back, or why keep rehashing it? That was shadow work. Or if you're going back to a past lover, it's just going to be more shadow work. Good luck. Or you're having to keep it under cover and under wraps, and you maybe you've already made like statements on Instagram like, we broke up and fuck that guy or fuck this girl years ago. And then there you are, like Netflix and chilling, or, meeting up real quick. And it's like, you really think that you're going to, after you said all that shit, or you went through all that shadow work and all that shit, you really think that you're going to be able to publicly put that out there? Pfft, yeah, right. The Page of Cups reversed. So it's not going to be fun revealing the shadows. It's not going to be chippery. These are not fun conversations. There's a lot of hard conversations this week. It's hard emotions, but also, I will be honest, that shadow will get bigger and bigger and bigger the more that you avoid speaking the emotional truth about it, because whenever we have a page, it's a communicator, and whenever we have the cups, it's emotions. And when it's reversed, it's not a happy situation. It's definitely one where it's like, uh-oh. And avoiding it makes the shadow become bigger. Why did you pull this Ace of Wands reversed? You pulled an Ace of Wands upright. You do want to move into something new, but you can't, because you haven't dealt with a lot of these weird issues that you have to there's still something, whether this is something new you want to go into and a partner that you're still with, or you're still emotionally attached to, that you haven't fully cut off, but you say it's over, but you're still kind of connected, right? Like a snip has to happen fully. You got the Page of Pentacles in reversed with your integrity. So again, another communication card dealing with, the reversal of self-worth, the reversal of, what the honest truth of integrity is. So, with this shadow here, there's definitely a lot about having to own integrity, own emotional truth of your shadow work. And in order to move forward into something good, you got to rehash some of the shit that you got to cut off and deal with. And there's a lot of this dealing with about truth too. It's pretty gnarly. I'll pull a Ganesha for you to pull through priorities. You need to make this your priority. If you try and backtrack this motherfucker and try and put this on the side, it's going to become the biggest shadow of your lifetime that will ever follow you. You got the 6th house here. You got Neptune and you got Uranus. So you need to start looking at your reality, 6th house. And you need to start looking at what is hidden, what is subconscious here, because it'll go crazy on you. And this is going to be something where this week is going to turn your whole direction of your life into a whole different way that God's going to do, because this is God coming down. And this is God about here to throw down some craziness to get to the bottom of what's really going on in this reality, what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be changed. These are curveballs coming, and these are spiritual curveballs, and these are also owning up to what you spiritually have to start to learn about how to make your life much more in a better spiritual place to advance and go in a better position. But there's a lot of disruption here. This could also be, sixth house with Pisces, is like a reality that isn't meeting with the dreams. And here's Uranus trying to make a way to help it make happen, but it's going to cause disruption. It's going to cause a little bit of havoc in order to break all the situations apart so we can see them and so we can understand where it's all going to move forward. Because there's something about, if you're trying to go and retract backwards, it's like backtracking. Oh no, hold on, backtracking. You're just going to backtrack yourself into a trap. You need to keep moving forward and keep prioritizing and being, as every good sixth house, and you are a Virgo, that's your ruling house, purity, because there's toxicity in your purity right now that you're releasing.
Yeah, you got to tune in yourself and take a step back, reside and live in that darkness that is your soul, that darkness that is your mind. And then you got to flip that light on. Let that love and that light radiate. So you see the darkness, you see those shadow figures that have been creeping around in your mind. And you're gonna exorcise the demons.
Woo! We got Capricorns.
What's up with those caps?
We're about to find out.
A little sea goat climbing up the mountain range.
Gotta find out about them
Bimbly step at a time.
How's Mel Gibson doing? How's Tiger Woods doing?
Probably doing pretty well. I don't know. I haven't talked to Tiger in a while. It's been a few.
Ted Cruz, he's a Capricorn. He just had to self-quarantine.
Yeah, he's quarantining himself. It's good.
How's let me think of other Capricorns out there. How's Kate Middleton doing?
That's a good question.
Find your way to kill the queen.
She's probably doing pretty well now that Meghan Markle's gone or whatever. You like that one,
Ever since I've seen Kate as a Capricorn, I'm like, this chick plays Capricorn better than anybody in the world, Kate Middleton. She is just like, with William, oh, we're not messing with the queen. We're gonna own the royalty thing because I'm gonna be fucking queen. Fucking, like, you know what I mean? She's like, fucking his pops is fucking old as fuck. The queen is the oldest queen to ever live of all time in the royalty. She's just like patient as fuck, looking like the perfect thing and plotting and all the background, all this shit, and playing William and his Cancer energy. Oh my God.
Apparently Elvis and Dolly
That's
Parton
some fucking Capricorn truth. Will it work for her?
Only time will tell.
Maybe she played with the pool boy one day. I don't think they have a pool there at Buckingham Palace, but
They probably got an underground pool.
do you think the queen has like an underground pool that she goes, come in here and join me and lather in my pool? If you're a Capricorn, you should check out the Love Masterclass. It's available at highvibe.tv or theleoking.com. Join now. We're on week 3 out of 8, and we already have 1 and 2 courses up. They always come out right away, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific if you can't make the lives. Join now. I'm going to teach you about your love story, other love stories, which ones work, which ones don't, secrets, traditional stuff. It is a deep class. I list a lot of the stuff that is on there. Go to theleoking.com or highvibe.tv and join. And if you're doing time stamping this, make sure that you place everything that I was saying about Capricorns, Kate Middleton thing, all that fun stuff. Don't let them just miss all that good stuff. So Capricorn, Venus is in your love house. Woo! It's a good time for love with Uranus here, but with the sun and Pisces in your 3rd house, there's a lot of questions. And I think that, you've been having to like really think really hard and go really deep and start rethinking and retooling the understanding of, well, where is my love life going? Mercury retrograde back in your 2nd house, self-worth, value. Is this really worthy? Is this really beautiful enough? This could also be where I'm going to be honest with Capricorns, where it's like, I don't know. Am I attracted to that person still? Believe it or not, astrology tells you everything. I literally know when you start doubting and questioning the physical attributes of somebody in your life. And that's been going on. Now that it's direct, now you have to answer that question. You also have to answer the deep question, especially that this is going to be a karmic weird cycle with a 3/4 square of the moon after this full moon in Virgo, which happened to be, of course, in your 9th house, where it's like, what are all my options? As I was using Kate Middleton as an example of like, ooh, I'm going to be a queen. How can I get there quicker? But gosh, maybe she really loves William. I don't know. But, does she? I think that this is for you with this moon and Sag. You're going to square the sun. These are some really weird, confusing situations you're walking into here. Because I think a lot of this is like, you can have great love, but, the ultimate true worth and value has to be there all the way, Capricorn. And I don't think that you can keep trying to sustain emotional situations with Chiron in your emotional house that just feel weird and off and limped. You need excitement. And I think that that's what's missing. There's a flame that's gone out, that's trying to restart, it's like the pilot light's been out. But will this pilot light be replaced, or did they turn the gas off? And if you're single and you're looking for a relationship, this pilot light needs a light, and it needs to be a burning fire that feels good and feels valuable. Because believe it or not, Capricorns are deep lovers. But most of the ones that stay in, because they're long-termers, you don't find too many like hoe bag like Capricorns around. But
hoe bag caps.
You don't find them on.
No hoes.
There's something to say about this being kind of like, is the fire really there anymore? Like, am I just doing this to do this? Like, I keep getting that one. And this one, it's coming up this week pretty intense with Jupiter in your sign. This is your one moment in your life for the next 12 years with the sun in Pisces dealing with your 3rd house, where you can actually see what really stimulates you in the world, that the fantasy that you can excite with. But why do you keep questioning what you want? Because you don't want it. We don't question forever something we don't want. Or we do. We don't question things we really want in our lives. We do it. Especially you, Capricorn. You did get the Ace of Pentacles upright. So this is about going towards the direction of the true happiness that's going to bring you true value. And again, physical. There's something about something physical that's going on. Physical. Is it going to bring you the relationship right now in your life? Is it really? Like, can you start from a new physical place? Maybe you got to give your partner a makeover. Like, hey, you get what I mean. But I think with Ace of Pentacles is that you're looking for also the values and the better. If you're single, you're looking for a relationship that really can start from a really good place, or you're trying to find your existing relationship to start from a new place. But how many times have you done that shit? Maybe this is about starting a whole new, fresh new start in a whole different way. Sometimes that means a whole new road, definitely with an ace. Your challenge card is divinity. Oh, it doesn't feel like it's spiritually divine. There's an issue with that. Divinity is truly divine and the key that unlocks the truth to God and to feeling like it's in true alignment. There's a challenge here. It just kind of feels like maybe you were fooled into thinking that's divine. Like it came in maybe at the right time to help you through a divine transition in your moment, in your life, but to bring you something, but maybe that divinity has lost its karmic course.
You've lost that love and feeling.
You got, the death card of Pluto transformation is your outcome. So desires, needs, and wants and passions and sexual transformational energy is definitely the outcome of this week. With that Ace of Pentacles, I keep getting something about physical not being there. Looks-wise, get away from those ones that you're not fully into looks-wise, or that you're not really, you need to have all of it, and it's not going to feel divine. You did pull the Page of Wands upright. You need to speak about what you don't feel is in alignment right now and see what's going to happen. I think that you're afraid to have conversations from your heart, and you need to not have be afraid to have conversations with your heart, Capricorn, about what you really are feeling and and it's going to be deep shit. You got Pluto here, transformation. Why did you pull that Ace of Coins? Well, you got the Justice card. You feel like you got to make a judgment call of like, if you want something new and that's beautiful, or if you want to continue having something and kind of keep it like an old wooden chest and see how long that thing's going to stay beautiful in your life. You got the Page of Swords. You got to speak. You got to actually 100% speak clearly. And I don't think that you're going to be able to avoid to. When it's reversed, it's usually people who are avoiding it. You're not avoiding it. You are ready to have conversations about what needs to change, what you're passionate about, and what is not in alignment with spirituality and divinity. And with this Justice upright, there's all these uprights. You didn't pull any reversals. So it's time. It's time, Capricorn. It's time to have those equal talks. It's time to have those talks about what feels in misalignment, and maybe things can really change. I have a lot of hope for you. But I'm just going to plant that little bug in the back of your head. Like, that's not going to change the weird looks and physical looks that you're not attracted to. No matter how much you try and change that. The underlying will always be there of that. The reminder. You got Aries, 4th house, Mercury. So you need to speak directly to the emotions that you're feeling in your life and what you're not feeling comfortable with and what you want to feel comfortable with. This is Aries, Mercury. It knows exactly what it's going to say, and it's direct. You need to be direct emotionally. This is cardinal energy, and you can't keep flip-flopping anymore emotionally anymore. You got to be very direct. This is how I'm feeling. This is where it's at, because you're at a place where you have to do that now. You can't be in these situations anymore where you're just kind of like in the background, kind of, oh, I don't know, and especially with Mercury retrograde that just went direct in your 2nd house. Like, you know your worth and value, and you just did a really weird mental self-worth big reveal. Good luck.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Capricorn, you hold all the power. You know, you have the key right there, but are you going to actually use it to unlock the door? Are you going to step through? You know, are you going to explore your desires, all those wants, everything that's been bubbling up inside you? Are you going to actually act on that? You know, it's easy just to sit back and just kind of let life pass you by and keep going. You know, and then we get stuck in this box. But again, you have that key. Unlock it, push through, step out into that light. Vape life. We're dwindling down. I can't read that.
Cancer.
I need those special eye drops.
What?
I need those special eye drops for the computer screens. I can't read that.
You need them?
No, I was just joking.
Yeah, people think I'm weird. They think I'm using something else, but I'm using pink eye drops.
Washer fluid for the eyes.
They're called Digi-Eye. They're for people who are in front of lights and cameras and fucking screens all day. This is my life. Look at the reflection of my eyeballs.
I think this is the first time that we've had a Cancer in-house for the Cancer reading.
That's true.
Oh, shit.
Here we go. But before we do, Cancers, make sure you check out the Love Masterclass right now. If anybody needs it, it's you. Most planets of anybody else with relationship aspects, you're going through it. Register now at theleoking.com and highvibe.tv to join this masterclass. We're on week 3. There's an 8-week course. If you missed out, don't worry, you haven't missed out shit, because you can go rewatch Class 1 and Class 2. And if you don't make the lives on every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, don't matter, because the recordings come out right after. So this school's always going to be available for everybody. And I'm going to be promoting this thing till the day I'm, over promoting it.
73 years old.
Nah, I was thinking like 94.
93 years old.
94. 93. Hey. Love Masterclass. Register Cancer now at leoking.com.
Hey, do it.
And if you are making a timestamp, make sure that you let Cancers hear from the beginning. You'll be answering to me. Thank you.
Old and decrepit David, and just waddling down the street.
That was my only, my 83-year-old.
Vape in hand, and love in the other.
Spreading
a seed all across the land.
Cancers. I don't think it's that bad.
After all that, not that bad.
We are in Pisces, so at least you're in a water sign. But this is about the stories that you guys make. Now, the reality checks here about those stories. Because there was a lot of stories that started to look like they could go this direction, but now that Mercury's out of retrograde and it was in your 9th house of stories and beliefs, and now it's in your 8th house of truth. Dick Tracy thought it had figured out the story, but really it was like a red herring. So you got diverted off the wrong path, and it's kind of like you're ready to go to court and, you know, to the Justice Department and be like, oh, I got the case. Oh, wait. You get a call from another FBI agent like, sir, that was the wrong informant and the wrong person with the wrong data. I need to run back to the office. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you have to really start to look at these stories and go, okay. I just looked at a whole bunch of different Disney movie fantasies that maybe that's not how it's going to go. I think that for Cancers, this is a big week with Jupiter in your relationship house making aspects to the sun in these stories. So this is, totally possible for great luck for stories in these relationship things to happen. But the full moon in Virgo was saying, does it actually make sense? Is it stimulating? Will it work in your life? Or is it not working? I think that a big question as well this week is, well, and I haven't brought it up on any other sign, but I'm going to bring it up for you. The nodes square Chiron exactly this week. Chiron for you is in your 10th house. North node in your sign, south node in your relationships. This is all about it. This is like what's good for your long term and your career. And there's, you know, how far you go with your career is depending on the kind of relationships that you choose to be around right now. So if your career life is kind of stalling, especially 2,000 point drop in the market today and the global economy is going down.
Oh no,
are you looking over at your partnership and really sure that they're going to bring you the security that you really need? Think about that one. That one might trip Cancers out. What Cancer's big fall with Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn that are all coming in alignment. And Saturn comes to 29 degrees of Capricorn, the last degree here, the most edgy degree, especially Saturn's at Saturn. If you look at the decans and you look at Ptolemy's decans, and guess what? These are major hard choices in your life that you have to make about relationships because you've got to be an adult to put yourself in the best emotional place. And you got to deal with life, how it shows up. So that's the problem with this Pisces 9th house is sometimes it can be like, oh, this looks great, but then it looks great at that moment. But now, where's the moment at now? Things change. Stories change. No story stays the same the whole way. That's Cancer's illusion, is that they think that the storybook can stay the same the whole entire time. Like, life does not work that way. Stories don't go that way. It'd be the most boring story in the whole world. Why do you think you're a Cancer? You're meant to go through emotions. You're not supposed to be a numb, emotional, only in one emotion in this life. I only want to have one color of emotion, blue or purple, and that's it. Like, no, you're getting a Crayola box, and we're going to scribble it all around a white piece of paper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Oh, God, that's the scary part. I don't think it's scary, though, this week. I think it's just about that you need to be a guru and start to understand, like, what are you doing in relationships and choosing wisely for ones that could make the story happen, and then also your career life, and more importantly, that makes sense and stimulating in the reality that you want to be in, and you got to look at the truth about that. Your card for this week, the first one is the Two of Coins reverse, the Two of Pentacles. So this is where these are difficult juggling moments. Like, you're juggling two realities, you're juggling two different worlds, and it's really difficult because I think that you have no idea which world to land on or what kind of partnership to be in, or if you're in a partnership, like, you're juggling two worlds and it's difficult right now. It feels like you're in different places or different spots or different. It just is a very hard time because these are things that you're juggling to keep juggling because you don't want to just stop juggling and come up with your choice and your decision of where you value the sea or do you value the land. You have to make a choice. Do you want to live on the island or do you want to live on the mainland? Like, you're kind of like in this in-between space because that's a lot easier to be in and keep juggling. It's keeping you stimulated and busy, but you're juggling a lot of energy with people. You're juggling weird situations with money or financial aspects. It's not going that great here because the juggle keeps going. Your challenge card that you got is the new life. You're afraid to start a new life. God, I don't know how many times Cancers have pulled that new life card.
Well, maybe they'll actually take it into account that they have the ability to go out and create anything that they want. You know, you don't need to keep living that same life if it is holding you back. Take advantage of it.
True.
But
I would say that with the challenge of this new life card, it's like, hey, why are you juggling so much? Your challenge is facing what the new life is. So you keep juggling a life that you want to stay in. Not a new one. So it's like going backwards. Like you see a new life, but you're not juggling the excitement of that new life. You're juggling, well, how could I see if, okay, I got that new life. It's almost like knowing you got like a lifeline. What was that called? Fucking, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like
lifeline.
A lifeline. Oh, I got a lifeline. Like there is a new life in front of me, but why don't I just keep juggling this old one? And I'll use the lifeline when I'm ready. What if Reed just pulls the lifeline from you? Or what if you use the lifeline and you call a friend and they don't know the answer? The overall is your fourth house, your roots, and where you're living and the kind of life that you're building and the foundation that you're building. So this could also be about like part of the new life challenge that you're trying to start is maybe you're in the wrong location. Maybe you're living in the wrong place. Maybe the roots and where you're at just aren't going to bring and deliver the world that you want, especially that's what you're juggling. It's like, I don't know. One of my friends, she posted a story today and she was like, okay, I live in Vegas and if a Vegas guy keeps looking like a club promoter and he's all buff and everything and he looks at me like I'm supposed to go over there and fuck him, he's fucking crazy. That's not going to turn me on. Right? That's what Vegas girls have to deal with, right? Maybe you're in the wrong spot then. You know what I mean? Like, unless you want that Vegas kind of vibe, there's going to be a lot of that out there. So Cancers, of course, your whole life is based upon your roots. Where you live is what you get. Right? So if you live in a place and all they have is Little Caesars and they don't have fucking, like a real pizza place, you get Little Caesars.
Hot and ready.
Little Caesars coming up a lot tonight. Real ready. The overall card here is the Ace of Pentacles reversed with that new life. You are afraid to step into a new life. I don't know why. Why are you so afraid in your relationship life to step into a new life? You're afraid to step into new relationships. You're afraid to change a relationship. You're afraid to step into the full new version of this. There's something you're still juggling here, and it's definitely heavily emotionally still because it's like your old roots. And look at, you pulled the Sun card reversed. You're juggling a life that did not give you the full sun. It actually gave you unconsciousness that made you conscious. But why? Because you weren't able to be the youthful expression of yourself. It inhibited your true expression. And you pulled the fourth house issue because the Queen of Pentacles reversed. You're not able to manifest wherever you're dealing with your home life or your physical location or anything dealing with your roots right now or family situation. You got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. You're feeling like you're not able to truly manifest the true essence of what you want to create in your life. It's like there's something missing there monetarily, physically, attraction-wise. There's just something where it's like you're not able to mother and nurture and feel like you're totally protected. There's a feeling like you're an unprotected mother in a weird way that you can't physically get those things. And there's a lot of uncertainty here because there's not enough light. That you're juggling, not that there's not enough light. And you think that if you juggle it long enough, maybe like you'll create like Tesla coils, like my fucking lighter here, and it'll fucking, you think that after you juggle it enough, you'll create some static electricity and bring it back. Nope, sorry, it's not charged. Pluto, in Cancer, in the third. This is where, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to give away the astrologer, but we both always laugh about Pluto positions but I don't want to give it away because I just don't. But we always have for like a decade plus laughed at. Pluto is where everybody's a fucking dumbass, and then they're also really intensely good at. But so you're a dumbass Cancer about your thoughts and the environment that you're in. But you're also very, very deeply knowing the environment of what you want and the facts of what you want. But why are you being a dumbass about it? It's time to make massive change in your environment, your stimulation, and what you really want in your life will only happen when the environment changes and the communication happens to the truth of what you really want instead of holding back the truth. Because that's what a dumbass does, is hold back the truth, right? But they want change. All they have to do is just let it out. But it's like, no, I'm going to keep my emotions in. Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Good luck with that. I think we got 2 signs left. What I want to see all the signs that are still left in this chat room because we got over 1,700 people here.
I know we made it to 1,900, and I think
we almost hit that 2K love. I think we're at 1960, but I want to see everybody's sign that's in that chat right now. And, you might as well like the video also.
I think the full moon made everybody tired. Full moons, new moons make people get tired. Or then it makes them really awake, and then you get really tired.
Let's see those signs, baby. Hey, I'm a Scorpio.
It's Gemini and Aquarius. It's 2 air signs. So which one?
Aquarius.
Nope, I got Gemini.
Will be last. Aquarius will be last. You didn't let me finish.
Aquarius is last. Aquarius. Aquarius. I hate that song. I don't hate Aquarians, though. I think Aquarians need a better song than that. Like, imagine as being a Scorpio, and if it was the age of Scorpio, and it was like, the age of Scorpio, a Scorpio. You'd be like,
Scorpio.
Can I get some bass, please? Can I get some fucking edge? Can I get a fucking guitar? Can I get a fucking drum? You know? If I was a Leo and they were like, the age of Leo, I'd be like, this is just fucking, just throw up on it. Oh yeah, we're talking to Geminis. At least they found that interesting because you guys are interesting people and you guys know the truth. Imagine Gemini if it was the age of Gemini and they're like, age of Gemini, the Gemini. You'd be like, fucking put me to sleep, please, or just fucking give me something and let me take the black pill fucking in Oregon that they give out and fucking just fucking end it.
Done.
Dr. Kevorkian.
Lights out.
My grandfather's come up tonight a lot. Do you remember Dr. Kevorkian? He used to give pills for patients to let them die.
Yes.
He went to college or university with my grandfather. He's in the yearbook.
Oh, are they best buds? Maybe he
No,
gave
but
Kevorkian the idea.
Kevorkian and Palmer is kind of close in names, and it was always very interesting. All right, Gemini, before we go into your reading, it's time for you to check out the Leo King's Love Masterclass. It's available now at highvibe.tv and theleoking.com. If you want to understand your love life a lot and the 2 different parts of yourself, because I go into the whole twin thing of being a Gemini, I go into all of it. There's so much information in here that you will just be like, both twins and all 25 of yours will literally be satisfied. Check it out right now. You can register now at theleoking.com or highvibe.tv. We're on week 3. There's 5 more weeks after that left and more. And you can catch up on the other classes. Join now.
You have them forever.
All right, Gemini. Well, we're in Pisces. This is your 10th house. This is a time for you to establish yourself with authority, establish where you want to go in your life, and do not take shit from anybody. You're an adult. This full moon brought up a lot of major emotions in Virgo about where you're not feeling that you have authority over those emotions or where your emotions are slipping and you need to clean up your emotional world because you've been slipping with authority. You've been slipping with respect to yourself or being respected. You've been slipping when it comes to, are you really on your path? Is this the path that you're going to be on where your emotions are not being met with the right kind of integrity that's deserved? Because that's where Mercury retrograde over the last 3 weeks. And then in this last week with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius in your 9th house, it was like seeing stories and not wanting to pay attention to them and just thinking, oh, it'll just go away. And then now it's direct and these stories aren't going away that have revealed where your integrity has been somewhat and majorly undermined. And is this the right career path for you? Are you in a relationship where the career stuff's working out? Are you emotionally satisfied? You've got all these planets in Capricorn. This is all about truth. This is all about, you're afraid when it comes to endings, right? You'll like hold on to something until the very end because that North Node in Cancer in the second house is saying, hey, like you need to put your value first. That's where your safety is, not in control over something not ending or dying. You're afraid of the death when it comes to love. Like that is your actual fear. But the other time too, you love having control of the death yourself. That's why most Geminis dump everybody. They don't get dumped. And if they do get dumped, it's like, oh God, I didn't dump them. Oh. And then the other twin is like, you fucking idiot. You should have dumped them. And you're like, oh, I love playing Gemini shit. Yeah, so why are you so afraid? Because that other twin's going to yell at you like, you fucking dumbass. You should have fucking dumped him. There's some integrity shit going on from you. I'm just putting that out there. And with Venus in your 12th house, I got to put this out first. Venus in your 12th house with Uranus? Oh, you've over the last two years started walking into a story where you think it's going this way and actually more is being uncovered and more things that are not spiritually in line than ever. You pulled the Queen of Pentacles. You need to stand up for your self-worth. Holy snaps. You pulled the Queen of Pentacles. She knows her value and her worth, and she has to own that shit now. So if you're not being valued and you're not being valued in a way that you deserve, like you got to stand for that with your relationships. And you need to find, if you're single with a relationship, somebody who really is knowing that value and will treat you with that value. And also somebody who sees the value of your greatness and wants to be part of that with you. But if you're having some slippery slopes with some integrity thing and somebody's trying to slip back in after treating you like a piece of shit, oh God, that Queen of Pentacles, you'll never be a queen of your integrity. You're just demoralizing that. So I think that's why this card's coming up very intensely for you. Your challenge card is courage. You don't have the courage to step up for what you really want to do. And that's your challenge. You need to have courage and step up for your value and step up for the worth that you want and stop taking on where you're not getting the integrity that you need. That's the issue. And you know, it's like this lightning courage that you must have. Courage sometimes comes out of nowhere. Maybe you need to push yourself into the situation and then it will just come. Maybe you're playing mind tricks with yourself, right? Like, oh, like I don't have it. You're trying to predetermine something that you need to own your value for in a relationship situation, and you need to step up with the courage to say it, and it will just lightning bolt come when you at least just push yourself into it. Sometimes when we get to the edge of a cliff, we have the courage to not fly off the cliff, and we have the ability to not fly off, right? We tense up and we get the courage to, okay, let me get a better grip on things here. Your overall card is the 11th house of friendship and so forth. So a lot of this overall is saying that you need to rely on more friends right now. You need to get more social again, because it's almost like you're, and maybe you need to pay attention to what kind of friends you're bringing in, because maybe the friends you're bringing in is bringing lovers, or maybe the non-existence of society and social life is making you to where you're being disvalued because there's no excitement, there's no connection, there's no things. But overall, this is about trying to build you to the world that you really want to have, but it's only a world that's going to happen if you own your self-worth and your value and showing your greatness and showing your beauty, because there is something about the Queen of Pentacles that has that beauty, that inner beauty, and that physical beauty. And that physical beauty is being abused by not being dealt with integrity and not having the courage to stand up for it. The way that you get through that is, wow, you pulled the devil card over the courage. You need to have courage to face some dark situations right now, or energy that has been dark, or energy that has, because what is darker than you not having the courage to face where you have been treated like a piece of shit? Or what is darker than that of being treated like a piece of shit or somebody, and you not having the courage to own up and own it and call people out on it or deal with that? You need to have the courage to step up to the devil's energy that is around, the dark forces that are around, in order to keep your beauty, in order to go to the world that you want in your life. Because you don't want a world that feels like it's dark and the devil, and you're never going to be beautiful if you have the devil hanging over you and you don't have the courage to face it. Why'd you pull that Queen of Coins? The Empress Reverse. Because, oh my gosh, these two are like best friends. Let's be honest. I would say that they're very intermingled. It's because you are not being treated as the Empress, or you are not feeling like the Empress, and you're choosing situations where you are being demoralized, or you're being, more importantly, not treated like a true Empress or your true value. Venus is in there, and Venus is in Taurus in your 12th. So there's definitely, you might get a little lost right now when it's definitely dealing with relationships and getting lost into things that feel like they are going in chaotic situations, but you could find stability when you face them instead of being a Gemini and avoiding them and putting your mind in other places and stimulations in other places, or waiting for more answers, or you need to have that courage to step up. Why'd you pull the 11th house? Well, you pulled 2. You pulled 3. The Emperor, you need to stand confident into the world that you want. The Knight of Pentacles, you're afraid to move forward into a new world. And you're afraid of letting something fully all the way go to move into the world that you need to. Eight of Cups is you have to move on. There's something that you have to move on about, extremely difficult, that's been dark, and you need to have the courage to step up to it. 4th house, Uranus, Venus. This means that you're dealing with some very deep emotional, family, crazy, weird relationship situations, but this is about you breaking free the emotions to feel what you want and connect to the emotions you want, instead of feeling like you have been disconnected from emotionally in a partnership or relationship or values. You need to connect by actually being the connector to the emotions and getting through. And they might be some weird ones to figure out or face, but it must be done. And the home life, definitely a little bit weird. 4th house, Aquarius, Venus. What were you about to throw up?
What was I about to throw up?
I thought you almost threw up a video clip.
I could do a little video clip for those Geminis. Here you go, a little sex. Everyone could use a little sexy time.
Well, they did pull the devil card, but it could be that, you know,
They need to let the devil within
maybe that's
out
not
into
going the way
world.
that they thought it was in that way, or maybe that might be a triggering thing for them too.
Well, everyone, sometimes you need a little push to get over that line. You don't always willingly go.
Well, last sign we're doing tonight is Aquarius. We made it, dude. What a day. Fuck.
Holy moly.
Hey, if you try to tell us that we ain't here at High Vibe TV for you when it comes to full moons and new moons, or even all things that happen in life, we show up and we are here all the time. And
I have acupuncture tomorrow.
I have work tomorrow.
Well, I have work as well, but I'm also getting
I know.
acupuncture.
Well, Aquarius, it's time for that love masterclass, baby. Especially as you're going through the biggest 12th house transit of your life, where you are going through your biggest spiritual awakenings and emotional transits of your life, especially regarding, we could add that in relationships. These are changing emotions that you always have. How does that work out for relationships? Join theLeoKing.com or join at highvibe.tv by clicking on the Love Masterclass. We're on week 3. It's an 8-week intensive. You're not going to want to miss it. I described all the aspects there. I know Aquarians don't want to hear the whole entire spiel. They just want to read it themselves in their own weird alien spaceship on your computer. Go check it out now. All right, Aquarius. Well, we are definitely dealing with a Pisces energy of your self-worth and second house stuff. And it was a full moon in Virgo here that's all about your 8th house of your needs and your wants. And it's like there's an achy, breaky heart that wants to feel a lot, intense as fuck. But where is the block? All the Capricorn in your 12th house, hiding in a hermit. Sitting in your house, maybe doing work, but it's time to go around and play with the emotions, no matter how they're going down.
Very nice.
Yeah,
that was good
this
stuff
is
right
the time
there.
for Aquarians to realize that your emotions are all over the place. Uranus and Venus here in your emotional house, and you want feeling, and you want comfort, and you want depth, and you want all these things, but what has to be cleared out of your life in order to do that? What is the big block? Capricorn? Could be a job. Could be your control over how that you live in your own alien spaceship. You got all these emotions that are changing things up, but this is also second house stuff with the Sun and Neptune. And this is where Mercury retrograded, and now Mercury retrograded back into your first house, and it went direct today on Monday. And it's like this wake up of who you are, this wake up of your self-worth. Are you going to go through emotions of values that you don't want to go through? Are you trying to connect to things that you don't emotionally really are that interested in? But are you also at the same time getting it over any of the weird blocks when it comes to coming into the reality in the world? I know you're going through a major spiritual transformation, but it's also about letting go of things that are blocking the spiritual, emotional love that you can have in your life. Let's see what comes up this week. You did pull the Seven of Pentacles upright, so I feel that you've been working your ass on something and getting no returns. So maybe you've been working on relationships and not feeling like you're getting any return back. We're going to find out much deeper about that, but this is somebody who slaves and is working and it's not working out. Or I'm going to be honest, Seven of Pentacles upright or reversed is saying you're actually really not working, but thinking it's not working, or thinking things aren't working for you and you're working your ass off, but really you're not working your ass off on it.
Let's say that again.
I know that's a tongue twister. Seven of Pentacles reversed is, okay, feeling like you're not getting a return in all the work you're doing in a relationship. But reverse could mean that you are believing that's what it is, but really you're not really doing any work. So it's kind of like showing up to volunteer and pick up trash on the freeway, and you picked up like 2 pieces of trash, but you were there for 8 hours. So you're like, I worked 8 hours, but it's like, we're not going to fill your card out for 8 hours because you got 2 pieces of cups off the side of the road and you were in your own land and we couldn't find you for the last 7 hours. Don't tell me you're at work. Challenge card here is transformation. So this is a beautiful week, especially when I see that. But the challenge, though, is the beautiful week. Are you going to make this a transformational week? Are you going to actually go put the work in? Are you going to stop maybe feeling like the work isn't coming towards you, or the harvest isn't coming towards you? Maybe you need to relook at the transformation and where you're putting your work in and how you're putting that work in relationships. And if you're showing up, Seven of Pentacles shows up to the work fully. Challenge card is the Leo card, overall card is the Leo card. Finding that love, finding that will to find love. Maybe your transformation is that you're not putting the work in to find true love and whatever it takes to have that love. Maybe you're not willing to move the fences or move anything in life to have the ultimate love that you want in your life. Maybe that's the issue. Time for a change. How do you get through that change? Well, Page of Swords. This is where you have to have communication. You have to communicate what you want to change in your life, and you have to understand in yourself, but you have to have some talks. So you need to make some calls. You need to make some phone calls. You need to have some in-person meetings, whatever it might be, about what that work is, because I think that you might be confused about that. There could be a little bit of weirdness with the reversal of the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe you have been putting the work in, you haven't seen the return, but maybe you have to talk about seeing a return. Maybe you never asked for a return. Why did you pull that Seven of Pentacles? Queen of Swords upright. It's because I think that you've been just thinking about what you want things to look like in your head, but you need to actually show up physically with what's in your head. Why'd you pull the Leo card? Pull the Leo card because good things are coming your way, but you're kind of like unsure about how to handle it, or unsure if you really want it when it comes to love right now. Maybe you're not ready for love. Maybe it's coming your way and you're kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I should take this or not, even though God's like, here's the thing you really want. And then you're like, wait, hold on a second. You're giving it to me right now. I wanted it after I took a poop and after I took a shower. I think it's a good week. I mean, the transformation with Page of Swords is all you got to do is communicate, and you can transform this, and you can have great love if you accept it. And the things that you really want in your head, you got to actually just go physically show up with that now. So this is a great reading, actually, for Aquarians. They got the Scorpio 11th house Mercury. Oh, just communicate your truth of the world that you want. Communicate to people where you want things and where's the boundaries at. Is this dead or alive? Is this dead or alive? Is this the world that's dead or alive? Is this the world that's dead or alive? Think of things as dead or alive, black or white, and get to the bottom of that and see what side of the fence you're on. And you're all good. And you're all good for being part of Deep Love Tarot for this full moon report and Mercury coming direct. Thank you so much for being part of High Vibe. Of course, the Love Masterclass is available. You're not going to want to miss that thing. Big school on Wednesday. Thank you for sharing the show. We love when everybody posts all the comments or posts all their stories on Instagram of Craig and I rapping and doing our crazy stuff. You have anything to finish off with, Craig?
I mean, it would just be that we are all capable of achieving the love that we want, but we must love ourselves first. We must be happy with who we are in order to attract the love that we want. Focus inward and then focus outward.
Well, I couldn't hear you over the rain, to be very honest.
I kept it
But-
calm and sensual.
Here comes the rain again. It's gonna be a week that's gonna throw us all for a loop. All the forces are direct again, and we're gonna get love soon.
So baby,
Talk to me. Ooh,
like love.
give me love in the rain. Ooh. Please share the video. Ooh, and watch the spiritual dance music all week, the next 2 weeks to get you through. Ooh. All right. HighVibe.tv. Join us up. Be a member. That's where Craig and I, Wednesdays, we do our amazing show, full disclosure, uncensored. Remember, we are censored here on freaking YT. So we can't do the real thing, McCoy here. We do that on High Vibe on the app, and it's super cheap. And we have so many videos on there and so many awesome people. It's just like, come on, peeps, help support the cause of uncensored spirituality, because censored spirituality has arrived. And we can't do it on YT.
It is here.
All right.
Au revoir.
Especially with CV. You know what I mean? That was the tipping point for the sensory CV on YT. We got to speak in code now. It's crazy. Anyway, love you all very much. Please share it. Love you, Craig. Thank you all for
brother.
being here.
Love you all.
I'm going to spin you out of here with some spiritual dance music and some crazy stuff, and I'm going to throw a card at you. Bye.